give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson, who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's at work to Safe Haven. Attacking 12, take a check that one out.
6 Rumble, 2-1 try to get shot.
Officer still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody?
Here we go. Uh-oh.
What happened?
She dropped out. It's all right, though.
I
I think
did?
everybody's... No, Veronica hopped in here. And let me see here. All these internet issues, having storms here.
She might be having storms too.
Probably. I don't know.
Let me see if I'm having storms.
But man, yeah, the internet went out.
Oh.
There we go.
Shock.
Let's see. I think she's coming up here. Thank you, everybody, for coming on here. There we go. Hey, what's up, Veronica?
Hey.
How's it going?
She's probably working.
That's okay.
Let's see here. I'll drop their links here. Give me 1 second. I'll drop that one for you, and we'll drop this one for you. I got a question for everybody before we get started, and a lot to get into tonight. Now, a few days ago, we were discussing Loki, however you want to pronounce it. Somebody's puppy, right? JP's, Micah's, the puppy that was involved in the given to the neighbor, taken back, all that fiasco. So Loki or Loki, whatever, started, once that guy gets his documentation ready, the protesters better get their bail money. Now, I'm seeing a lot today. There's a lot of conversation about who's going to get arrested. Even last night, I was having multiple phone calls with some of the protesters. Same conversation. I wonder what's this about. So my biggest question is, what do y'all think it's about? And what would make sense why anybody would even be arrested? Because you guys see the protest, everything's documented. There's been nobody's stepped across the boundary. We've always respected Ellie's requests and wishes. We've always done it with peace, positivity, and progress in mind. So what could be the reason? Because we know JP's been at his lawyer's office the last couple days too. They're cooking something up. What could it be, though? Ooh. All I could think is peaches. I don't know. What else could it be, right? Last week, at the protest last week, iPhone Guru came up to me and he was like, "Hey, JP sent me a text message asking if I knew who the two guys were that came and stole the footage, or the peaches on the security footage." Who knows? Who knows? I told him, I was like, dude, I was already, I left just about an hour and a half or so after the protest was done. I was already in another damn state before it was even dark. Who knows? So that's the only thing that I've heard recently that could come anywhere close. And still, how do you arrest a protester, right? So what do y'all think it could be? Because
Veronica answer that one first.
Yeah, we're talking. We can't even come up with nothing. Me and the protesters.
I have no idea. There's no telling with them.
They're cooking up something. I mean, you've heard. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. First of all, he's got court on Monday, so that might have a lot to do with why he was at his attorney's office. However, you remember that one of the, as I said before, the top of the chain, or the top of the list of the rules for radicals, is to always make your enemy think that you're more powerful than you really are. This is just an empty threat. It's just another empty threat. There's nothing you've done that's broken the law. Actually, they've broken the law and violated your constitutional rights multiple times. Now, if this police department does something as stupid as conjure up something to take one of you down, or just out of the way for that moment, You know, I think personally I would go and seek me. I'll just call up Regina Ward and see what kind of help we can get right away. Because she can
Well,
definitely stir up somebody, a constitutional lawyer, real quick.
here's the good news about that.
Okay,
Uh, I did have a attorney reach out to me a few days ago,
praise God.
and I referred her to Allie.
Okay, good,
So
good.
we already, as soon as I got the email, I said, thank you. I appreciate it. That's not something that I could make sure, like the
Yeah.
decisions and all this other stuff. I said, I'm going to forward it to the manager, the protest manager. And I went ahead and forwarded that information to Allie. So let me make a note of that. I'll have to discuss or see what's up. I'll shoot her a call after the show's over, and I'll see if and let me shoot her a text actually. I'll see if
I'm so glad to hear that. Is this the attorney that you guys were talking about a while ago, or somebody new?
I have no idea. It was a protester that had came up to me during that protest and said, "Hey, um, there's a lawyer that I think it was Melissa.
Yeah, yeah,
She came up to me a couple weekends ago and said, "Hey, there's an attorney, $63 an hour." And that's when I was like, everybody, even an attorney out there, if you can find it out of the kindness of your heart just to do it for free, please do.
yeah.
But once it was like a couple days ago, I was just checking the mail and I actually saw that there was a message there, and I was like, "Ooh, sweet." So I don't know if it's the same person. I don't think so, because I think that they might have already had the contact information already instead of going through me. So I think it's with Melissa and Allie. With all
Good,
that.
very good. So maybe they're handling it, and that's awesome. And I agree with a lot of the chat is saying it's just another empty threat to intimidate, to get you
Yeah.
guys not to show up. And you're not doing anything wrong. You're not on private property. You're not using the blowhorn things anymore. You're not in the middle of the street. You're not causing the traffic jams. There's nothing that you're doing except exposing them for who they really are, and they don't like that. So it's too bad.
Yeah. It's exactly what it is. They're grasping at straws.
They're very desperate, very, very desperate.
Grasping at straws. That's why I was like, I figured I'd ask y'all, both of you up here and everybody in chat, like, because as I'm talking with the protesters the last couple days, because it's been a conversation since the Loki stuff, and it's like, I don't know, we've been talking even last night. We were still, me and Allie were discussing about it, and because I was asking her, like, what do you think? And she's like,
Yeah, yeah.
like, really, what could it be? Like, and what documentation are you talking about? Of what? You want documentation? Just go to my live streams. That'll give you the footage, the sound, and everything that takes place. So I don't know what they're talking about. It's got to be something fake, because the protest Jesus J was fake. I think iPhone Guru. I think when I first got there, I think they were saying iPhone Guru had the cops called on him too.
Wow.
So that's another thing. I'm a male, so you know what I mean. I don't know, and I'm the one that documents it, right? You do
Right.
have Guru over there, but when it comes to like the post and the live and all that stuff, the pictures, and then what we're doing on the show too. You add that to it. I
Yeah.
don't think as a show like this, I don't know, but so I don't know. It was kind of one of those things where it's like very interesting stuff, especially after when that 911 call came out, right?
Hmm.
Isn't it
That's
kind of
stirring
weird?
up a lot of stuff. I think that's stirring up a lot.
Yeah. Right after that 911 call came out, and boom, it's out there in the airwaves all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Loki's coming around, and you hear all these different things. What do you think, Veronica? What do you think it could be? Like, I don't know what anybody's done wrong.
There's no telling. He's probably just trying to go after any and everybody at this point.
Any and everybody. Just having somebody kind of watch outside and see whatever they can find and jot it down to see if they can try and.
Yeah.
So
It's just an
now
empty.
I heard about the fence. The fence doesn't have to be taken down until some paperwork gets figured out. So which is legal. Now sometimes I thought they just come and take it down, but I know there's like a time limit with a city ordinance and all that other stuff. So. But when it comes to the picture of the property line, those fences are outside the property line for that area. Let me see here, Michael, exactly, but CJ won't. What? What are you hold on. Sorry. I don't think. Oh, I'm not going out there tonight. And listen, I'm not worried about being somewhere alone by myself at night. Like, come on, guys. Even when I went down for the Riley Strain, shout out Nashville, they've been reaching out to me to come back because another girl was in a similar situation like Riley Strain, and they want me to come back and do more investigating out there. Because this is an interesting theory, because back in Nashville, I was down there in the dangerous spots. Doesn't matter. I've seen worse, you guys. There's a homeless encampment right there, and there's a lot of criminal activity, I'll just say, going on down there. There's an operation in downtown Nashville. I mean, come on, some girl just yesterday or the evening before came out of the Cumberland River and was like, I don't know how I got there. And she was reported missing from her family the night before, same spot as Riley Strain. So when it comes to Allie, actually reached out to me and she says, CJ, there's a homeless encampment right next to Dick's Pond. And she's wondering if there was people, because we've heard of some of the homeless connection with JP, not for reasons of godly ways, I'll just say. It makes you wonder. She was wondering if there was some kind of, hey, let me know. Well,
you're going in and out, CJ.
Am I really? I apologize, you guys.
That's okay.
The internet's going in and out.
No, you're better now.
When it comes to the homeless encampments, what most of you might not know, is that almost all of them have cell phones.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Almost
where do they charge it?
They charge it in public areas.
Oh, okay.
So in Nashville, right? In Nashville, if anybody's been downtown, you'll know what I'm talking about. In Nashville, the homeless encampments are by the river. Once it gets nighttime, they all go up to where the parking decks are all at, and all of the like inside of the city little areas with benches and stuff, and they all are plugged in to the outlets, charging their phones, and some of the homeless even set up tents right outside the entrances because there's power outlets all over there.
Right.
So they all just kind of move up. Anybody in Nashville know exactly what I'm talking about. So it makes you wonder, like, was there some kind of operation thing there as well? So
Me with
I don't
Michael.
know.
Like he paid somebody to go in there and follow her and stuff?
Well, you remember he said that he had to stop the PI before because he was broke. Because he was broke.
Yeah.
3 weeks. He said 3 weeks. Whether he's telling the truth, we don't know. But he said 3 weeks before he quit paying the PI because he was broke. Okay. When it comes to them, you can barter. And they would almost rather have items instead of cash because they can use that to barter as well when it comes to their own community. So
that is true.
It could be one of those things where, hey, I don't have the cash, but I got something like this, and they're like, ooh, this is worth more than money because of what they
Oh
could
yeah.
exchange it for. Yeah. So it's a very interesting
Or him having
theory.
hands and like other things as well.
Yeah. Mhm. Yes, because it's well known
Get where I'm
with a
going with that.
lot of the. Well, yeah, it's well known with a lot of the. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's well known with a lot of the homeless encampments that there are substance issues as well.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Yeah.
could be one of those things too. Like, hey, and imagine what that's worth in an encampment.
Mm.
It's
Exactly.
it's worth more than a pair of socks, a pair of shoes, a bag of Cheetos. It's worth more than any of that. So
Oh yeah.
it makes you wonder. And then also, when it comes to a situation that goes down that you might need somebody's help, that you could make them keep their mouth shut.
Yeah, because he did like to blackmail, so he could have been like that with him too. Like if you tell anybody, they're not going to believe you. One, because you're homeless, and two, you know,
Right.
I've got this on me.
Right.
So,
You have power over them because you've already groomed them. And also, you know that if they don't keep their mouth shut, who's going to notice them being gone?
That's horrible.
right.
I hate to say it, but it's
No,
the
no,
truth.
no. I know, but it's horrible to think he would think that way.
Right.
But he's wicked anyway.
Right.
Right. Morgan says, well, we already know he has a connection to Dick's Pawn Shop and homeless people. He preached about it in a sermon.
You got to be kidding.
I haven't seen it. Is that true?
Yep.
I'd have to go through every friggin' sermon that he's done to find all this garbage.
I've seen it, but I don't remember which one it is. But
Probably
he
all the
has mentioned
answers
it
to
before.
This whole thing is probably in. The whole mystery is probably solved if we watch every sermon.
You know what?
Yeah, probably so.
JP, bro. It's a different age when I'm just saying, when you get a community of us together and we mix our thoughts, even in chat as people are typing stuff too. We mix our thoughts. This is how you make all the tiles flip and match. When you have all these people around those tiles just say, oh, that matches. Hey, guess what? Did you see that one? That one matches too.
Yep, putting all the puzzle together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let me see here. Anne, you were reaching out to me because there's a whole list of stuff. I mean, I got so much, and I know we're not going to get through it. March 11th. What did you want to discuss about March 11th?
I actually did a video on it this morning. I think it's crap.
All right. You think it's crap? What do you mean?
Yeah, I think it's. I think it was. However, whether it's somebody else on that call or he coerced the guy to do it, either way, it was a setup.
Oh, you're talking about the confrontation.
Yeah, the alleged phone call.
Right.
And only because
I think it was big too.
Absolutely, because when I had put down the bullet points and then put it up against the divorce laws in South Carolina, it matches.
It really does.
It surprised me. It surprised.
Yeah.
Because I never heard of it. Usually you have a no fault state or you have a fault state. Like for example, Georgia, New York, and I think California. They're all fault states. But Florida is a no fault state. But South Carolina is both. They do both. And to do no fault, you would have to do what Michael was doing, where you have to live apart for at least a year,
right,
and then you get your divorce, right? Now, she had stuff on him that she could have gotten the divorce quicker, but she probably didn't want to deal with him, I get it. Although she did get a protective order, so maybe she was on her way to getting there. But
yeah, that's what I think.
That might have been, because you need evidence for that as well.
Yeah.
But if you listen to what he said, and that was the bullet points, he made sure that there was a photo. You need that to say that she committed adultery. He said to the kid, make sure you text her and tell her that you guys committed adultery. So there's just all these things that he made, you know, said in that call. He said it, JP, like leading this kid to say it himself.
Yeah.
Or to agree to
Check
it.
all the, like
Yep.
I was saying last night, to check all of the boxes to make sure that he could push it through because he couldn't get the spousal support, you know?
It's more than that.
Yeah.
He would have been able to, in a divorce,
Yeah.
probably
He would have been
deny
able
her.
to, it would be, he wouldn't have to wait the whole year.
Well, that plus he would have been
Yeah.
able to deny her any alimony.
Yeah.
He would have been able to deny her any assets, marital assets, and might even have been able to get her to pay for both parties' legal fees.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yep. And still humiliate her.
yeah,
And
because
humiliating.
he already forced her to sign a document before minimizing what she was going to get in the divorce already, so she
Yeah.
wasn't barely going to be getting anything.
Yeah.
And then he just wanted to make sure that, like you said, make sure that she didn't get nothing and get something in return because he was so broke. Yeah, when they had the press conference for the family, what was it, like a month and something ago? Regina Ward was actually listing all of those things when it comes to the South Carolina divorce laws. That's because when I was at the press conference and I started hearing all of it, that's why I've been saying this whole time when it comes to the laws here, because I didn't realize it was that bad until Regina Ward was listing all of the things when it comes to what takes place during a divorce and, you know, the time period and the steps and the things that you need. And when I started hearing Regina list off the things that you need in order to make the divorce, like right then, that's when I said to myself, those are all the things that JP was doing.
Yeah.
Because as she's listing them off at that press conference, I'm going, holy crap. Kapoom, 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 kapoom. And I'll continue to say it until they change the laws. The laws for females here are effed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
There is barely,
I mean, she couldn't get help.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, she couldn't get help because, you know, it's like, well, y'all are married, so suck it up. Pretty much. So
yeah, I was even talking to somebody last night, somebody from the community, and she was like, CJ, she said, I was standing there with 3 officers, and I'm saying, I'm afraid this, and she's like, I'm standing right next to my abuser, and she's telling the officers they're all right there because he came back, and she's saying, officer, I don't care if he lives here, I'm afraid he's gonna hurt me again. And they just stood there and looked at her like, so? And I was like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah.
like, who wants to get married like with that?
It's messed up. I'm just like, what do you tell, you know, like, what can you do? Just say, well, just hope that it works out better the next time? No.
Right.
Like,
You're just going to have a lot of women do the burning bed like Farrah Fawcett in that movie. That's what's going to happen. If they don't change the laws, you're going to find a lot of men in a burning bed.
I don't understand. And then I reported just like 2 weeks ago that South Carolina just voted out the last 3 Republican women in the state. They just voted out 3 women. So that's why I made a video a couple weeks ago. Is this going to hurt Micah's law? Because you just lost 3 women. And it's already hard enough to get any of these laws passed, have any of them look at them, because of all the pressure, because of how it goes. So when you lose women that can really help when it comes to the votes, what are you supposed to do?
I think it should be a federal law
100%.
and supersede the
100%
states.
across the whole country, because it's people's rights, right?
And the reason why I say that is because in every state, marital law to some degree is recognized, right? If you're husband and wife in Alabama, you're going to be husband and wife in Georgia. You're going to be the same husband. You're married everywhere you go, right? No
Right,
matter where
right,
you go, you're married.
right.
So why shouldn't there be a federal law that protects the vulnerable in that case, whether it be a man or a woman?
Yeah, and
Exactly.
it's like, what is the definition of abuse different in each state? No, it's all the same, ain't it?
Right. It's just that who enforces it. Sometimes there's obstacles to allowing the enforcement of it.
That's right. We need Michael's law today. We need
Yeah.
it
Need
should
it
be
like
federal.
yesterday.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should be federal. You're exactly right. Like the whole country. Morally, it's a moral law. It has nothing to do with states and boundaries. Um, so fingers crossed. I mean, who knows? There's some new stuff here. Abigail put out a new post. I'm going to share that with you guys here too. Share all these screenshots with the communities that you're groups of or friends. That's why I always show these QR codes in the beginning of the show, so you can take a
Wonderful.
screenshot. You can crop it, put it up there. You don't even have to have the name on here. You can crop it and post it. Just share it. And then here's this one.
I'm gonna screenshot that one.
Yeah. And then make sure you have the 2632. It's very important. I think they might have changed it now, but I'm not sure.
There
What,
are
change the
Sometimes-
number on there?
Yeah, well, no, that you don't have to
No.
type it in anymore, because sometimes with
Hmm.
Venmo, you have
Oh.
to know the 4 digits, and it's like,
Oh,
why?
okay.
How am I supposed to know the 4 digits of this person's number? So that's why I don't understand Venmo. But sometimes there's an option, I think, that you can make it to where you don't have to use the number. Like, I'll get Venmo contributions, and they don't have to know it. So. I think maybe like right when you make it, you need the number, but after that, I think maybe it's an option that goes away.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. And this is the new post that she just put out an hour ago, and I'm going to share those photos with you guys too. There's a concert, a benefit concert, and I think it's tomorrow. Too. There's a concert.
YouTube is so dumb.
Yeah, is it freezing?
Oh, yeah, somebody's in your chat that's a little questionable. Let me see if they got rid of them. I think they did.
Oh yeah.
Your mods are quick. God bless them. Hey, honey. You want me? Oh, I'm going to do a quick edit. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Oh,
Appreciate you. Thank you all for hitting the like. Yeah, you saw that. All right. So music and vendors justice for Micah.com.
sorry.
Micah's benefit concert, all ages, free entry, Saturday, November 16th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Grand Park, corner of Farrell Parkway and Never Street and Market Common. Justice for Micah. So it's November 16th.
Wow.
That's like 4 months. I was thinking it was this Saturday. I wasn't able to see it close, and I was like, oh shoot, I hope I can make it. I got a lot of stuff tomorrow, but November.
Yeah.
Isn't
Now
it
you can
crazy?
plan it out real good.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'll be there for sure. Trust me, November 16th, because I love hoodie weather. I'm all about my hoodies.
Can't wait for winter.
Let's see, TikTok. All right, for winter.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh boy. Oh, yep. Here's another one. Is this the same? Oh yeah, it's just another poster. Oh, that's cool. So share them both. Take a screenshot of both of them, and you can share them. That's pretty neat. Pretty, pretty clever graphic artist there. You're going? I'll be there. I'll be wearing my jeans and my hoodie. There'll probably that's some bonfire weather right there, right?
Is that near the beach? I guess it's all near the beach, right?
Yeah, it's close, but it's Farrow Parkway and Never Street, so that's kind of like city. It's not like, you still have to walk a few blocks to get to the beach. I mean, more than a few blocks, but it's not that. Yeah, it's not that far. Yeah, we love it.
Okay. Miss Cosmo was saying, no, I'm anti-winter. I agree with that if you're in the Netherlands. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it could get really super ice chilling cold there.
The Netherlands. Yeah, it can get that way in Akron too. That's why I moved away.
Well, it's right off of the North Sea, and the whole 5 years I lived there, I thought it was the Atlantic Ocean. And the North Sea is pretty damn cold. Yeah. All year round. In November? Average temperature in November, dear. 40.
Too cold.
Too cold.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, 40-ish, 30, 40-ish, yeah.
That's not bad. I just can't do the teens and the 20s and lower than that. Can't do it.
I moved back to the south because it's too cold up north.
It is. I'm just gonna keep moving more south. That's just what I'm doing. Because as I get older, I'm tired of the cold more and more and more. This is a special message from Millie. Here, let me share from Reverend Millie Joey. This has to do also with the Duttons and Dominion TV. Now, we shared a few shows ago. Allie sent us a video, and then she also posted on Facebook with them delivering the papers where they couldn't use their likeness, their voice, anything that they had obtained under a false pretense because they were pretending to be people they weren't and pretending to be an organization that didn't exist as well. So they obtained information off of false pretenses. Right. So they were being served the papers so that they couldn't use that content. And this is a message from Reverend Millie Joy about that. And I think she covers some of, who's going to get arrested. I don't know. Let me know in chat. Who do y'all who would even, I don't even know how they could arrest anybody from the protest.
No, it's just empty threat.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
It really doesn't. All right, here's Millie Joy.
Okay, guys, I've been thinking a lot about this, and I honestly didn't know how to address it before now because everything that happened on Sunday was such a shock to me. Now, we are ministers. We moved to Myrtle Beach in 2018, and of course, John Paul Miller does not know who we are, but Dominion TV, who pulled their stunt on Sunday, absolutely do know who we are because they sent us an invite to our website for an interview using their real names like a year ago. And to my knowledge, we neither accepted nor declined. We just got really busy with life. But what happened on Sunday impacted me quite deeply because I got to see how they would treat people if they thought that they weren't like them.
And what's crazy, you guys, is I have to continue to shout out Millie Joy and Allie. It was just minutes after she was coming around talking to everybody and then talking to them too. It literally was just minutes and they were already on it and they were already saying, no, this is destiny. They were confronting her. All sorts of stuff was taking place. I'm talking minutes. And these people are on it when it comes to these plants that are coming out there and trying to twist things when it comes to what the protesters are about and how they're about it.
Right.
Or if they thought that we weren't Christians.
They
Because
were
the fact
on
that
it.
they are like want to slander and all these other things on behalf of John Paul Miller is very minimal, because the truth always finds you out. We are known by quite a lot of people, both nationally and internationally. We've been working for 17 years. And both my husband and I were in ministry even before that. So however people want to say whatever they're going to say without proof, just on their own opinions and their own bias and how they don't like that we stand against abuse in the church, it doesn't impact me quite as much. But when they sent, the Dutton parents sent their daughter, Destiny, it actually hurts my heart really bad, because Destiny may not see it, but she's actually being very severely mistreated. And I'm sure that her neurology at this point would defend her parents and defend what she's done. But it is really bad for her reputation. Even the fact that I had to say her name, her real name, to make sure that people know not to interview with her. I'm a mother of 6, and when she interviewed me, she stood there, and I had a little bit of motherly urges to protect her in case anyone got so mad at her for lying after I started to realize like some kind of conflict was going on. And so, Destiny, I hope you know that I'm praying for you to get free of this kind of control and abuse.
Aw.
That your parents would put you up to going in the middle of, quote,
Yeah.
what you believe
She
to
is
be
so
witches and
awesome.
warlocks.
That's right, because they even said, after they were minutes, they were on it. They noticed the tattoo, you guys. That's what tipped them off. When she came up and she was talking to everybody, they're like, hold on, we know that tattoo on your arm. And then all of a sudden they started looking up on Facebook. They connected the tattoos, then they connected her, then they were confronting her right there. And then when it comes to, like what she's saying, like how everything went down, totally legit, totally on it. And at the same time, they even found out right there, the same time, that her father was preaching a sermon. And that's when he said, Destiny's got a mission, a dangerous mission. She needs her prayers, and all this other stuff. We played that too to his congregation that morning, the moment that she was out there amongst us.
Well, he said she was sent out on an assignment, and that's a different meaning. So most people who understand the spiritual or supernatural, that's demonic. Only demons are sent out on assignment, not Christians. So I understand how Millie's feeling, but what Millie is feeling is that this was supposed to happen. In the midst of the judgment, there was going to be a lot of cleaning of the house of God, and it's going to get ugly, and it's going to make a lot of people sad, because when judgment falls on somebody that was, sitting next to you in church the whole time, that you thought felt the same way that you did about God and about the Word of God, and you find out that they didn't, it's very disheartening. It's very sad. Always pray for these people, absolutely, but we have to accept the fact that when God's cleaning his house, he's cleaning his house. So it's going to get ugly. It's going to get uglier than this. I hate to say it, but that's the truth.
That's Destiny. That's when she was out there. Pretending to be a reporter. She came up and talked to us. The protests last week, came up and talked to us. There's a gentleman in here. Let me get that picture for you. There was a gentleman that was standing next to her. This was my photo. Where was that?
Oh, somebody came with her? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I took photos too. Oh, it was my video. Hold on. I'll show you guys the video. Yeah, because I took a video, because after Allie came up to me, that's when I took a video and I posted it. That's why, like 6 hours later, when people were talking about it, and then people were like saying, hey, guess what, CJ, did you know this? And I'm like, yeah. Where did I put it? Oh my gosh. feel like I put it somewhere else.
Keep the banner from scrolling.
Here, let me L Faber, just go ahead and watch a different YouTube show. If you're focused on the scroller, we need people that actually think below the surface. Sorry, we're on two different wavelengths there, bro. Let me see. I didn't know people would focus so much on the scroller.
I hadn't even noticed it until he mentioned it. I don't know what's worse.
Let's see. I think I put it right here. Okay, that was... Anyway, yeah, there was a guy in pink, and he was wearing a pink shirt, and he was the one that was taking the photo and the video. So she was walking around with the badge, you know, showing everybody the badge, but it was hard to see because it was bright as hell, and the words were like so teeny. It was hard to see. It was hard to even read what they were. So she was the one going around with like a microphone and then like a little notebook or whatever. And the guy in the pink shirt was wearing a ball cap. Yeah, kind of by a tree. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't remember where I put the photos and videos from that day. Sorry. And he was the one that was taking the video, the photo, all that stuff. So I don't know who that guy was, but they instantly knew that it was Destiny. Did they go into no, they didn't go in there. They didn't go in there at all. When they showed up, the girl was like taking photos, and first they were standing there by themselves, and it was like they were trying to wait to see who could they go up and talk to, you know, kind of like reserved in a way. So then she started to go up and talk to some people, and then he was taking photos, and then they were taking some videos going up and down. And then so if you're at the entrance of where the church is at, I was on the left side of the drive to go in. So I was on the left side. That's on the side where all the houses are, on the left side of the church. Nice. Then she's talking all to them, and then she comes up by me, and then her and the guy are standing there. And that's when, you know, she was like, hey, thank you for everything you're doing. And I was like, oh, thank you. You know, thank you for coming out here. And she was like, oh, you're CJ, right? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, we watch you. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Thank you for your support, right? Yeah, thank you for your support. And she was like, yeah, we're just out here asking everybody questions. You know, we're here supporting you guys. You guys are doing a great job. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, I was like, who are you with? And she was like, Coastal Life Media. And in my mind, I'm sitting there going through all the news organizations, because we read a lot of articles and stuff. And I'm like, I don't remember that name. There she is. What's up, Allie? If you'd like to come up, let me know. I'll send you a link. She was like, yeah, Coastal Life Media. And she's like, we're here documenting the protesters. And she's like, you know, thank you for everything you've done. I was like, no, thank you guys for coming out here and actually asking people and the protesters questions, because the other newspaper that's coming out here, the Sun News, they ain't reporting nothing on this side. They're just going in there and talking to them and getting an email and just promoting one narrative. And it's nice for one of you guys to actually come out here and hear what the protesters, you know, report the truth. Instead of what's being put out there, report the truth. And then I go walk around the other side to the other side of the church by the peach tree. Then I come back around, and by the time I'm coming back around, that's when everybody's coming up to me like, yo, it's Destiny Dutton, Dominion.tv. You know, I was like, what? So then that's when I went over there and I was like, look, you guys, this is what is just going on. And then we put out that video. Yeah. It was
That is
all just
too
crazy.
much. Yeah.
It's like every week. It's like, thank you. Appreciate you so much. You do so awesome. It's like every week there's this guy coming out here to do this or that guy coming out here to do that. Ever since cocky dude with the freaking hat come walking out bumping into protesters, she was one of them. It was when she was wearing a Spidey outfit. Remember not the prison Spidey, the other Spidey outfit. He come walking out like this and then just pushed his shoulders into their signs, to instigate some contact, and nobody was there to react. That was before the sprinkler boy. That was the first guy to assault protesters. Sitting there.
That is crazy.
Going like this to their signs and stuff, walking out there all cocky, and then they came in here in my chat and we're supposed to be in support, but then they were talking like JP enough to make me think that they were JP. And if you're doing that when you're doing all that stuff, that's not good soul stuff, man. Like there's a certain way to be with people, you know what I mean? And you can't hide ugly. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what he was the first one, and I have it on video. I have it on video because that's when I was like, who the hell is this? Because he was walking out all, going like this, just doing like this weird ass walk, like he was all cocky, had like this cocky walk. And it's like, what the heck? Because that was right around the same time when people were walking out of the back of the church, walking by all the protesters, doing all this dancing, doing all of this, and then going into the front door of the church, the big orange door. People were literally leaving out the back door to then come around to the front. That's when they were trying to have the cops come in there to their decibels are too loud. And then that's when people from the church came around to the front and cracked the door open so that way the sound from the protesters would sound louder inside the church. They even tried that sneaky tactic. It's all on video.
That's just crazy.
All on video. If they want to, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they plan on doing, but there is documented things, and it's documented, and it looks not good for you. It looks good for us, not good for you. So I don't know what their little documentation is about whoever. I appreciate you guys supporting me for me to be able to do that, because without your support, I couldn't do that. Speaking of, real quick, I want to say contribution call out to Donna, Suzanne for becoming a new member. Also, Paula Powers for your super sticker, $19.99. Appreciate your support. Also, I want to say contribution call out to Cricket for a 25 Cash App. Eugenia, $15 Cash App. And I want to say Anne Marie for the $40 Venmo. Thank you so much. Without your contributions, I wouldn't be able to do this. And I'm just going to keep doing it until you guys want me to keep doing it. So thank you.
Right on.
All right. So we'll go ahead and play this here. And that's shout out to her, sending prayers to Destiny, for who knows, maybe she was manipulated to be in that position too.
Yeah.
When it comes to this situation, because you could tell, like, after, I just thought she was new because she seemed nervous when they were there, especially when she talked to me, because her voice kind of cracked. And people that are nervous or uncomfortable, their vocal cords kind of crack or they kind of swallow mid-word.
Yeah.
And she was kind of acting pretty nervous. Her voice would crack a little bit when she was talking, or kind of choke a little bit. So it didn't. I just thought she was new and nervous around people, and then once I came back around and they told me, it completely made sense uh, of why she was acting that way. And it's crazy because as after everybody was kind of like, we know who you are. Oh boy, the guy, it didn't bother him too much because he just had his sunglasses on and a ball cap, and he just stood there like this the whole time with his head down. He just stood there like this the whole time. He didn't say nothing the whole time anyway. She was the one standing there, and they were just off standing there by themselves, and it was weird because they stuck around for a while too, after everybody confronted them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They were still there, just hanging around, being by themselves. I don't know how old she is, you guys. 28, 29.
Man, she don't look old
No,
or
she
look very
looked.
old.
Yeah, she looked really young. I thought she was younger than that, honestly. 28, 29.
That's what I was thinking. Younger too.
I was thinking like early 20s.
Hmm.
That's interesting. 28, 29. Hold on one second. We'll go ahead and finish this video here in a second. Let me contribution call out Kid Kitty 5 gifted memberships. Hold on one second. Let's see. RC Tamara. Look at you both. Veronica, you just got gifted a membership. Dang, Veronica.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
KK and Jab. Thank you, Kid Kitty. Also Kylie Cosmos with the $1.99. Can't put lipstick on a hot dog steak. I've never tried it, never thought about it, but you know what? I bet you we can have a little decal for the next show that has the hot dog steak with a little bit of lipstick, okay? Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Here's this video.
Put you up to going in the middle of, quote, what you believe to be witches and warlocks, and they would put you in a dangerous situation for their agenda. And that is no way that Christians should even approach people who they think are, I mean, the whole goal is to defend John Paul Miller, not defend the gospel anyway. And John Paul Miller is abusing people and has abused people. And a lot of people know that all over the world now. And I just feel very bad that he knows and manipulatively involved Dominion TV. I'm not saying they're without fault. Absolutely not. But this is not good. And so, I'm obviously forgiving and moving forward. Some people have said that this is a legal matter too. It could be, because misrepresenting yourself and recording people under a false pretense is absolutely not okay, especially in South Carolina. But no legal action will be taken on my part. But I think, and I hope this idea reaches them, I think it's very appropriate this time to formally apologize to the protesters. Now, I understand if you're hoodwinked by John Paul Miller and dedicated to protecting him, and the fact that he has abused Micah. He abused her. He posted a nude photo of her. He lies about her. He destroyed her from the pulpit. And he is under investigation from the FBI, and your ties to him could be very dangerous for you and your, ministry, if it is in fact a ministry, which I never questioned it before. But seeing how you treat people who you think are not ministers, I don't know what you're raising $1 million for if you are literally trying to destroy people in our city because they are not yet Christian, or because they are not Christian, or because you think they're witches or whatever. I mean, I know you ain't talking about us.
Appreciate you, Allie.
And one of the ways I know is because we have a common friend, and you have had this person in, and I just want you to know, you should take a look at the list of your common guests on your shows and in your ministry. You might recognize them in the endorsements of my book. The book I did an interview yesterday with someone who used their real name to represent themselves. But there are people that you host and highly respect that are not for abuse in the church and are for standards of healthy leadership. I'd be glad to gift my book to your ministry, but there are people that you host in your ministry that have already endorsed my book and are taking stands against the actions like that of John Paul Miller. No, they're not taking stands against him personally, but they're taking stands against the way that he behaves and acts in ministry. And unfortunately, now the way that we know you do too. I think it's an appropriate time for you to issue an apology and really pray and consider that. You've already blocked us on Facebook. I don't believe Destiny has yet. I don't know. I'd be willing to never mention this again. I just think it's appropriate time to issue an apology and to humble yourself, because just because you don't think you know people doesn't mean you actually don't know them. And just because we don't tout all our people that we have worked with and places we have gone and ministered nationally and internationally doesn't mean we're nobodies you can kick around. I formally decline your official interview at this time. And of course, like I said, no legal action will be taken on my part unless I have evidence that you are actually endangering people very seriously, like John Paul Miller is, in my opinion. But yeah, I'd like to offer you my book, Praise Through Sun Devastation. It's about abuse in the church. And I'd like to read you one endorsement that really sticks out to me. The first endorsement in this book is by Patricia King. Patricia has been a dear, lovely person in our life that has stood against abuse and prayed for us and loves our children. And here's what she has to say about Praise Through Sun Devastation. Millie Joy writes this book not only from the perspectives gleaned from her personal devastating journey through brokenness, but also from valuable revelation and insights she gained during her pursuit of wholeness. With faithfully intact, she sought professional counsel on a number of levels and also invested on a deep educational dive on the subjects of abuse, trauma, and mental illness. Millie Joy is one who has persevered in the midst of everything that attempted to come against her, and she has experienced ongoing freedom as a result. She has a passion to see others walk free from the shackles that bind them so they can receive healing and wholeness. I have observed Millie contend for freedom and understanding, and I have delighted in watching her always return to focus on Jesus no matter what she faced. You will enjoy genuineness, candor, faith, and valuable insights as you read Praise Through Sun Devastation. There is hope for the hopeless, there is freedom for the oppressed, there's help for the helpless, there's healing for the wounded. This is Millie's heart conviction and message. Patricia King, minister, author, media host, producer, patriciakingministries.com. If you haven't heard of Patricia King, go check her out. She's a really cool lady. So I pray that if you want my book, I will get it to you. But that something of this speaks to you on church standards of leadership, and that you do not have to address people that the way you have addressed us this past week. There are better ways of handling things, and I know that you're not going to get that supporting and endorsing John Paul Miller. So I pray that your eyes are opened in enough time to break free from connections with him enough to save your reputation, and recover it from ever being demolished into the ground like he is trying to do to you. Because it's no mistake that he mentioned your name publicly with all the controversy going around his name. He's very purposely involved you. So I do implore you before it's too late, please break connections with him, repent, apologize to the protesters, and move forward and preach the beautiful gospel of Jesus Christ. And now I'm going to pray for you guys. So Lord, I just thank you for this opportunity to connect with others who claim to be believers of you, which we take very seriously. I pray for truth. I pray for exposure of anything hidden in darkness that needs to be brought to light. I pray for your accountability, Lord, and that you lead and guide our every step of the way, because it's easy to get emotion tied into this, especially when you feel like you're being mistreated, especially by people who claim to be believers. So Lord, I pray even for our heart and our mouth that we can represent you well, and that also for Dominion TV and the leaders there, the Duntons, that they would repent and recover their reputation, and that they would be out to seek you and love you in all things. And I believe that they have had encounters with you, just my personal belief. And so I ask God that you help them, lead them, guide them toward repentance and toward us taking a righteous stand against abuse in the church and treating people right, especially in the areas of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So it's almost 4:30 in the morning. I've got to head to work. Love you guys. And for those of you that are angry at the Duttons, I do ask that if they do apologize and if they do repent for how they disgraced the Christian name this past Sunday, that you find it in your heart to forgive them and erase this offense from your memory and move forward, and just let's keep focused on the goal, because they didn't do the things to Micah that John Paul did. And hopefully this is a wake-up call for them to learn how to better handle these mismanaged situations. But John Paul loves nothing more than to see other people fighting with each other and not focused on the things that he has done. So let's stay focused, let's stay prayerful, let's keep our eyes on things above, not on things of the world. In Jesus' name, love you all. Justice for Micah Francis.
Oh,
Mm,
well said.
right on.
Well said. Do you think they're gonna apologize? She didn't look like she was gonna. If you all saw the video when they delivered the documents, she was kind of.
Probably not.
being smart assy too. She was being smart assy. Thanks, guys. Yeah, whatever. So, dang,
Mhm.
I didn't know that. So they promoted her book, huh? That's interesting. They promoted her book before. Thank you, Cherry. Thank you, everybody. So, here's the newest thing going around. WBTW News 13.
Oh, yeah, this was good.
John Paul Miller in the path to Micah's Law. Yeah, I had a lot of people sending this out today. We'll check this out too. Please hit the like if you haven't yet, and if you are not subscribed, I'm going to keep dropping their links throughout the shows too. If you're not subscribed to our guest Veronica and Andy, their links. This is, I think this came out today, right? Let's see.
I think so.
I think it did. Yeah, 12 hours ago. So this is WBTW.
Try to keep forgiving, and for the sake of Micah, she very much would have wanted me to continue to forgive her family.
For the first time, we're hearing from Solid Rock Church pastor John Paul Miller in a wide-ranging interview with our network partner News Nation about his relationship with his late wife Micah, abuse allegations, and how he says Micah's family let her down. Thank you for joining us at 11, everybody. I'm Edward Moody.
And Trish Williford, News 13, reached out to John Paul several times, and he specifically refused to talk to us.
Yeah, News 13's Adriana Lawrence has followed this story from the very beginning.
I wonder why.
She spoke with the family's attorney about their reaction to the interview and where their focus is now.
The attorney representing Micah's family, Regina Ward, told me she watched the interview on News Nation 3 times. She says there were a number of lies, alarming body language, and deflecting. She thinks John Paul painted an unrealistic picture of how sick Micah was and says it's unfortunately what many victims of abuse experience. What were your first thoughts when you were listening to that interview?
Yes.
Gotcha. Before the interview even started.
Oh, but that's awesome. I gotta replay that. That needs to be in like a rap song.
Many victims of abuse experience. Yes. What were your first thoughts when you were listening to that interview?
Yes.
That is so awesome. Her face. Yes.
You were
like,
listening to that interview.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's making her job so easy.
Got you. Oh, I know. It was a disaster. And then somebody reached out to his lawyer and asked him, did you advise J.P. Miller to do that interview for News Nation? And he says, no comment. Yeah. Oh, hell no. There's no way in hell, unless he wanted him to just, dude, I got to let you go, man. And if you don't leave me alone, then I'm just going to have to throw you out there to the wolves. So it was something. I don't see how a competent attorney could ever advise their client to do this. I really don't. Or even allow their client to have somebody else post their TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way.
Because I would think, I mean, it's pretty obvious when they come out on court TV a week and a half after Micah passes and they say we're the FBI's investigating the church financials. At that point, your lawyer would be like, bro, zip your mouth, keep your public profile low, don't cause any trouble, just try and lay low for right now. Because anything that you do can be used against you. Just like what Regina Ward. Yes, we got him now. Because he lied. He can't use those lies in court. He's just he's just going all over the floor, and their
Making
people
her
are just
job
like,
a lot easier.
right? It's a new puppy that you just bring home, and it's not potty trained. It's just going all over the floor. It's like, dude, what are you supposed to do? There's no way his lawyer. So I'm not surprised. No comment, because if he would have said no, all of a sudden that adds to another lie that JP told on this News Nation interview. He must have gotten paid a good chunk. That's probably why he had to. That's probably the only reason he did it. He got some quick cash, $5,000 or something. Could be more.
To get to his lawyer to help sweep it up.
Well, he's broke. He's scrounging for money. I mean, come on. He was trying to have Flo do $2.69 like $2.69. A DVD at the Dollar Tree costs more than that, don't it? It's like $3 or $4 at the Dollar Tree or Dollar General, somewhere around there. They got like DVDs for like $3 or $4. Can't even get a DVD. And so I would have listen, if he wasn't that broke, like he has to be broke in order to settle for $269. Because if he wasn't that broke, he would have been charging like $15, you know. So some people probably won't get it, $15, but $269, he's probably thinking, man, it'll sell like hotcakes. I just need money, so let's just make it cheap. And nobody bought into it. That's why Flo ended up putting the stuff out without anybody having to pay for it now, because it just didn't take off. You don't think he's broke, Tiffany? Really? I think he was broke as hell before Micah passed. This is why. Because a few nights ago, we were going into the pastor's note to the pastor's note to the church. And in that pastor's note to the church, that's where they talked about trustees. Trustees in 2015 and on, in order for Solid Rock, because that's when they crash boomed because of JP Miller's affair, right? He was cheating on Allie. The whole church busted him. The church fell apart. Remember when I told you guys a long time ago, I was being told from the beginning when I got here from ex-church members that the church actually fell apart when the cheating with Allie took place. Like the whole 700-800 people down to 50 that just took place happened before too, during the cheating stuff going on. So when he needed to recover, because that's where he was like, church, you know, if you can help in any way, we need you to show up and let us know what you can do. He's trying to scrounge whatever he had left, right, Vivian? He was trying to scrounge whatever he had left to try and hope that he could just, oh, don't let that little ember go out. I need to find some pin needles. I need to find, you know. And that's when these trustees came in, other prominent preachers in the area, and like we were discussing, probably some silent donors that came in. Oh, trust me, Tiffany, I'm gonna explain it to you. Trustees came in and overtook the financials of the church. JP Miller did not have control over the financials of the church because the trustees did. So when the trustees have control of the church's finances, you only have the money that you personally have, because the church's money isn't your money. The church's money is the trustees' money. Now, how can you be rich like JP and then be broke like I'm talking about? Because you were stealing from the trustees and everything came to head. And now you're so broke because you don't have church money, because the church money's not yours, it's the trustees. And all of these trustees have been probably jumping down JP's throat going, bro, where's our money? That's why he's broke. He was broke before Micah passed. He was flipping the hell out, acting like an animal, crazy, trying to get spousal support from Micah because he's so freaking broke.
And then what about the bar that he owned?
He supposedly he didn't own very much of it. It was a very small
Just a little bit.
Very
okay.
small portion, but it's already been out there that he already got rid of that too because he needed the money.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yes. That's what I'm hearing out in the street and have been hearing for like 2 or 3 weeks right now. That he had a very small portion. I've heard from the beginning that I got here that he had a very small portion. This whole part owner, a crocodile, it was a bunch of elevation to nothing. Very small portion. And I've already been told a few weeks ago that he already got rid of that because he's broke.
Wow.
When you're dealing with trustees, that's why I was comparing it to any company that goes public on the stock exchange. Once you go public on the stock exchange, you don't own your business anymore. How do you think Steve Jobs got fired from Apple, y'all? Because he went public, and then the investors, the board, the directors, board of directors were like, bro, we don't like how you're running your company. And he said, F you. And they said, no, F you.
Yeah.
And they booted him out and removed him. They only brought him back because the company was struggling so bad, and they had to take him back in order for Apple to succeed. Otherwise, if he wouldn't have came back, you would have probably never heard of Apple no more. Or you would have heard it as much as you hear IBM. Very minimal. So when you're dealing with trustees, it's the same thing. They don't care if you have a successful month of tithing. They want your money. They don't care if you had a downswing or a downturn or any kind of issues. They are looking for that 4 to 5% profit every single quarter. And if you don't bring it, people's heads roll. It's typical boardroom business. 4 to 5% automatic. You don't got it. Whose tail is it? Is what it is. So with this whole, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, but I'm not that he didn't respond to him, because you think he would. After, because he went back on that other news station. I can't remember what it was. The guy that was bald with the beard, and they were sitting in like a family room or something, where he had his binder. JP had his binder that he was going through. That was right after News Nation, wasn't it?
Yeah, right after.
Yeah. So I'm surprised that he didn't answer any
Well, Michael
questions.
just said that that's the oldest news station in the area, and I wonder do they have a reputation, Michael? Because maybe they have a reputation for their interviews being a little cutting. Maybe he was afraid that, he wouldn't control the narrative.
What, this channel right here, WBTW?
That's what Michael had. I think it was Michael Edge had just said it's the oldest one.
Yeah, he's a local. Let me see here. Let's see.
He fears them for some reason, so I don't know the reputation, but maybe Michael does.
Exactly, hide and seek. They don't give a crap. They don't give a crap. I've dealt with boardrooms, in business. They don't give a crap.
Yeah.
They don't. It doesn't matter what took place. It doesn't matter. 4 to 5% growth. Sometimes more. Sometimes they look for 10. Doesn't matter. Had a downturn? Doesn't matter. Stock issues? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right, we'll check this out here real quick.
Try to keep forgiving, and for the sake of Micah, she very much would have wanted me to continue to forgive her family.
For the first time, we're hearing from Solid Rock Church pastor John Paul Miller in a wide-ranging interview with our network partner News Nation about his relationship with his late wife Micah, abuse allegations, and how he says Micah's family let her down. Thank you for joining us at 11, everybody. I'm Edward Moody.
And Trish Williford, News 13, reached out to John Paul several times, and he specifically refused to talk to us.
Yeah, News 13's Adriana Lawrence has followed this story from the very...
Patty, I didn't say stockholders, I said trustees. Trustees are like stockholders. Just
we did a background check and it's there. Yeah, it's there. There's trustees.
Look it up. Busby 135. I watched the first ad to help with your. Oh, thank you. If anybody watches an ad, let me know, because if it's like ShamWow and stuff like that, I know that I need to tone it down. If I'm getting like Disney cruises, then I know that we're like totally cool. So let me know what kind of ad it is.
Beginning, she spoke with the family's attorney about their reaction to the interview and where their focus is now.
The attorney representing Micah's family, Regina Ward, told me she watched the interview on News Nation 3 times. She says there were a number of lies, alarming body language, and deflecting. She thinks John Paul painted an unrealistic picture of how sick Micah was and says it's unfortunately what many victims of abuse experience.
What were your first thoughts when you were listening to that interview?
Yes. Gotcha.
Before the interview even started, John Paul Miller broke down in tears.
Hey. Oh, man. Oh, man.
It was, to me, it's like, oh, here we, instead of Pastor Miller, it's Actor Miller.
During his 2-hour interview with News Nation, John Paul said Micah threatened to kill herself multiple times. He said with him, she was happy and healthy, but once she was with her family and off her medication, her mental health suffered.
Like, I told her family this so many times you can't imagine. I told her friends this. I told everybody. I said, if y'all don't get her lithium, she's going to commit suicide.
Do you think there's any truth to that? I mean, have you heard anything from the family that she was dependent on medication?
No, in fact, she had been off of the medication for quite some time.
Ward says Micah was depressed, but she wasn't aware of any suicidal thoughts.
He contributed to that. I mean, you only had to watch the interview and you're exhausted by the end of it. And guess what? You only got to see the parts they clipped. Could you imagine sitting there through the whole thing and then spend that 7 years of your life in your 20s?
Ward says she wasn't surprised John Paul did the interview, but would be surprised if John Paul's lawyers gave him permission.
I finally got the approval of my attorneys to do so. They, the ones working on the defamation cases, they said it's easier to win a defamation case the more that people talk.
During the interview, John Paul denied any allegations of abuse towards Micah, but Ward says Micah kept a detailed journal of John Paul's alleged controlling and manipulative behavior.
So what was your thoughts when he had said flat out, I never abused her?
Yeah, I was incensed. I was like, the audacity. And guess what? No one's buying it. There's too much evidence that shows otherwise.
Ward says many times victims of abuse are too afraid to speak out. She says she can imagine that was the case for Micah.
The one that's being abused is humiliated by it. They don't want anybody to know. Now, become the pastor's wife. You really don't want anybody to know that.
And because of that, Micah's family is now working to push forward Micah's Law or the Coercive Control Bill. It would strengthen protections for victims who experience forms of abuse like financial, mental, and emotional. She says this situation has connected with so many people for a reason.
But because all eyes of the nation and, in fact, the world have been on this case, which has really enlightened, I hope, the general public about this insidious problem that we have.
We reached out to John Paul lawyers Russell Long to ask if he was actually given permission to do that interview, but he told us no comment. And we asked John Paul for a statement, and he told us over text, quote, Ward is representing the person responsible for Micah's death. In the newsroom, Adriana Lawrence, News 13.
Remember, if you or a loved one are having suicidal thoughts, call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988 or go online to www.988lifeline.org. Help is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
There we go. We'll leave that up there as well, just for a minute. Let me see here. I have heard that he had been renting out Micah's white car to people. I heard that he sold it to somebody else. When did I hear that? But I'm not saying it's 100%. That's just what I was hearing. That was 2 weeks ago is when I heard that. I don't know if it's true. I know not this last weekend, but the weekend before, after the protest was done, that's when I was standing there off to the side and I was talking to you guys, and and then all of a sudden, because that white car was parked towards the front where you turn into the church from the street, and all of a sudden that car was driving, and then it just stopped right after it crossed into the grass from the pavement, kind of leaving how it leaves through the grass like JP does. It like stopped right after the grass. It changed into grass, and it like just stopped there and sat there for like 30 seconds, 35 seconds, and then it took off again and went to the grass, almost like I spooked it. Like it didn't notice me until it kind of came away from the buildings, and then it just slammed on its brakes and stopped and sat there for a minute. It's like, whoa, what the hell? And then they drove off into the grass. So I don't know. I had heard, but who knows? Maybe somebody took it as selling it and really he's renting it out or something. Have you guys heard anything like that?
I haven't.
No.
I haven't. No.
I don't know. Is there any locals here that know? I just heard he had sold it to somebody that went to the church.
Well, yeah, somebody else was in it. Wasn't it a couple last weekend? That's what I thought.
I didn't see it last weekend.
Oh, I almost positive. I thought it was last weekend during the protests. Maybe it was the weekend.
They're married. I know it. Who? Them two?
Oh, yeah,
I know, because that's why I showed you guys her wedding ring. Was it last night? That's why I showed you guys her wedding ring, because as soon as I got sent all these pictures a couple days ago, I was like, or was it? Yeah, yesterday or the day before or something like that. Just a bunch of them. And that's when I saw her wedding ring, and I was like, yep, that makes sense. That's why I was asking all this time, like, dude, wonder how your girlfriend feels about it. I wonder who married him.
Are we talking about JP and Susie right now?
Yeah.
Oh, so that is true then?
Well, they're both wearing wedding bands, so
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if she's wearing one and he's not, then that's
right.
What guy wears his wedding band?
Wow.
Unless your woman's like super jealous or something. It's typical. It's typical for the guy not to wear anything until marriage. So that's why when his first couple videos that True Crime Re was posting, he is wearing his wedding ring, and I'm sitting there going, bro, I wonder what your girlfriend thinks about that.
Ooh. Yeah.
Right, because you just left her, now she passed, and then you're gonna wear your ring again? Like, she's got right? But then it was like, look, they're either married or he's wearing it for Micah. Well, then I can't imagine those conversations at the dinner table. They're wearing them for their lost husband and wife still, CJ. Duh. Are you serious, Carissa? Are you serious? You think that they're having an affair?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, Carissa. They're having an affair and have been for quite a long time. And they're wearing their wedding rings. I don't know. Does that make sense?
No. Is that a flying monkey?
What? It must be.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, that's a typical flying monkey answer.
Oh,
Now, somebody said something about the tax records. So those tax records that CJ was showing last night, I think came from Steph. We don't know how old that is. And but when we looked up the background check, it just said
flying.
it said something about the owner information not available. So maybe it's in the process of changing over ownership, and maybe that's why it wasn't available. That's the only thing I could think of.
Well, let me see here.
But I think
that was
said that it was on that list that Steph gave you last night.
Yeah, I got two of them. One was a lot clearer than the other one. Let me see here. The link straight to the county website to see what vehicles are listed and which have taxes due. I noticed two of them have taxes that are past due that were due on 5/31. It just doesn't tell you the color of the vehicles. It just says
lavender.
Yeah. Well, that was on a different one. If we're
we're
talking the church, there's no colors on it. It just says the vehicle.
Right.
And the year. Let me see here.
I think there was a 2018. I think.
Man, I get so many where are they at? Where it is? Hold on. Maybe I put it in this folder. Okay, here's this one. Oh, here's the clearer one. Okay, here. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, you guys.
Oh, Veronica's working. Are you working, Veronica, in the midst of working?
Yes. I just took a break.
Oh, for real? Oh,
God
shit.
bless her.
Yeah.
God bless her.
Okay, here's the clearer one. Now, it doesn't show colors. It just shows the last four.
It was an 18. I'm almost positive it was an 18. Yeah, she's got to go back to work.
Oh, thank you for hopping up. Appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all, and I'll be back for the replay. So
Yeah, and tomorrow too. Yeah, thank you. That was neat. Coming here to hang out on your break. Thank you.
No problem. I'm gonna go work these streets some more, and I will see y'all later. Thank y'all.
Be safe. Be
Stay safe, dear.
All right. Bye.
Let's see. 2007, 11, 2000,
So there's no 2018?
Well, there's the Chevy.
Oh, no.
It's not a Ford. Honda, 2019. That's got to be the truck. The 2019 W1E4. What does that even mean?
Oh, I remember the tag of that car. It was the white Honda was WUP 747.
No, the W1E4 of the Ford model. This right here.
Yeah. No, I thought we were talking about the Honda.
Nope. The Ford. W1EF.
What does that mean?
That's what I just said. What does that mean? Like, what is this Ford W1EF? Okay, it's another way of saying F-150. So that's the truck.
Oh,
that's JP's truck.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it means
maybe it's for insurance purposes. I don't know.
Or GVWR. I don't know what. Show results with W1EF. A hybrid? No. It don't matter. Power boost. So I think it has to do with the engine.
Right. Both. That's
Power
right.
boost
Both
hybrid.
Both of the Hondas were in Micah's name. That's why she paid those taxes the day before. That's right. That might be why it's not on the list. Right on. So why would he have the ability? I guess it's marital asset. Oh my God. He's such a schmuck.
What's that?
Well, somebody just said in the chat, and that's true. And I saw that today, and I can't remember where. Micah paid taxes on both Hondas the day before, the 26th. So for her to pay the taxes on both, she must have had ownership. And if you remember, after when she was in the hospital, he was able to take the car because of marital, it's a marital asset.
Because
right?
they both own the vehicle, yeah.
So that must have been what he did with the two vehicles. He took them.
Do they have 11? Agatha had 11. So JP and Agatha had 22 together? This is really sad. She was starting a new life without him, right?
Yep. He still won't let her be.
20 plus when this started. They had 20 plus.
Wow.
Yeah, because they had all those trustees. And things were going great. They were probably bringing in a ton of money. They were, all they cared about was, the profits. And then you got to think like he had to be skimming. He had to be skimming. I thought he owned Solid Rock this whole time. No, it's all them trustees. So he had to be skimming this whole time to live like a rock star, like Alec Murdaugh in the law firm. Same thing.
And if that church and the all of the assets weren't under federal investigation, they would force him to liquidate. But they can't right now because everything's under litigation.
Oh yeah. That's a lot of taxes for $227 and $273 for the Honda. That's for a year. That's crazy. I don't pay that much in my taxes for a vehicle. Shoot, it's like $70. Is it really that expensive here? What the hell?
It might matter the car and
that's like $200 more than what I pay.
And I'm assuming every one of those vehicles, they all have. There's no note on them. Yeah.
It's cheaper than California. Mine went. Are you serious, Vivian? 700? What the?
Where are you, Vivian? New York?
No, she's here in Myrtle Beach.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She's a local. Yeah, she's one of the locals.
I wonder if they charge more for cars that have no note on it. Depends on the age of the car and the value of it. Yeah, that's true.
That's ridiculous.
It's funny that you say that because it seems like all the touristy areas are like that. House taxes are cheaper? Oh.
Yeah, but for residents, this is what I would be thinking. With all the tourists, the residents get a break, man, because they have to deal with all of the, chaos. Craziness. So you would think, hey, if they're raking it in from the tourists, we'll cut the residents a break. Well, that's expensive. Let me see here. Wow. So, March 11th, I think the call's fake too.
Yeah.
Has there been any experts that have done any like analysis on
the call?
Yeah. Like
no, but that's a great idea. I think I'm going to send it to Jack Fox and ask him to listen to it. I didn't even think of that until you just said it. It was a great idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because he'll be able to pick up on that.
I'm surprised. Now we didn't get to go into the unedited call last night because the whole connection I just kept dropping. So would there be anything you'd want to get into before that, Anne? Before
Are we talking about the call
true
between,
crime
the call between him and the guy?
No, the
Oh,
true
the
crime
interview?
the true crime with the recorded. We went through that last night.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes of true crime we only made it about 7 minutes, the 2 hours.
I did touch on that in a video this morning, but it was at the end.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I
We
was,
only got through like 9 minutes, so.
I was actually started it off with a 2016 sermon that he did about lead roles and supporting roles, and talked about that for a short period of time in the beginning, and then went into the interview, and then touched on a few parts that shows that he's really a wolf.
Oh yeah.
And I think is that the one that Busby that I start yelling and get mad at the end? I think I did that with both, actually. He was really on my nerves today.
Yeah, I haven't even watched it yet, so it'll be on the fly for me tonight, that's for sure.
Right on.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out. And I wanted to get into their core values, Solid Rock's core values, if we have some time.
I also did that too. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Still got to get into the silent Scientology. So I'm just so busy. It's hard for me to get to things.
It's a lot of stuff. If you tell me early on what you're looking for, I can actually just find everything and get it to you.
Oh no, I do my prep and I get it really before a lot of these creators out here. I'm just so busy with phone calls and
right. That's why I wanted to help you
and,
get
all that stuff. I just don't have the availability to create the content to put out there because I'm too busy on the phone or whatever,
Yeah.
So I just try and even make like community posts because really I'm hell, just alone today, I think I just got done with everything maybe like 12 minutes before the show or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's I don't mind. Other people can be first, It's just one of those things. It's the cost that you have to pay when you're out here, doing these things out here. Other things are more.
I gotta say, Kylie, Agatha May, I feel like she's I almost get the feeling that she's either a lawyer or like a DA or something. There's something professional about her speech. But yeah, I think so. Listening to her, I wish I was that calm. I really do.
Oh, you're pretty calm. You're pretty calm. What are you talking about?
Like her. Well, by the end of the video, I start getting a little hyper.
You're very elegant and
Thank you.
Thought out, and you bring fresh things.
A PI? You think she's a PI?
Probably.
I could see that. I can. You know what? I can actually see that.
Probably.
Wow.
Or a lawyer. Yeah, that's a good. She's one
really
too.
Good with eloquent in speech. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just like her sense of humor.
Yeah, she's got great sarcasm. God bless her.
Yeah. It's like I feel like me and her could bounce off the sarcasm quite a bit. So, like Shay Zonay too. I would love to have her on the show too sometime. Like she cracks me up. Like I'm telling you, out of all of them, like Shay Zonay cracks me the F up out of most of them because she'll even sit there and she'll post she'll even leave it in the edit like, I just messed that up. And it's like, it just cracks me up. Like,
I
she
like that.
is,
That's so real.
it is. Like, I love her so much. She's so awesome.
Well, that 911 call, the Monday night show, I don't know if you noticed this morning,
What's that?
all over the place.
The what?
Mystery Project was playing it.
Yeah, that was yesterday. He was actually
I might have
playing
caught it this
that.
morning.
It was 2 days ago, actually.
Oh,
And then
okay,
he
I
made,
caught it all this morning.
yeah, and then he made a short after the episode was done. It was funny because he was like, he's like, dude, you need to read audiobooks, man. He's like, I'm gonna wear my hat backwards now. I was like, dude, you need to get on the show, bro. Like, come on, man. I've come in your chats. I've done said Mystery Project, shout out. Get over here sometime. Like, what's up, man? Get over here. All of them. I would love to have. I got 10 chairs at this table. I'd love to have them all filled up with all of us together, you know? Like,
Crime and Theories. She's also
all of them.
Plundered,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, all of them. I would love to be able to just hang out and kick it, you know. I think it'd be sweet to have like a one night a week where we all just hang out and just talk about everything from the week, you know, like a Saturday Night Live or something where we all get together and talk about everything from the last week.
I
You
can
know,
see that happening because
wouldn't
I
that be
don't.
sweet?
That would be. I don't think this case is going to get slower or slowed down. I think it's actually going to be hyped up.
It's gonna blow. I feel like things are. It's gonna like we just put all the rocket boosters on the rocket, right? The boosters are on there. The satellite's ready to go. The countdown already took place, and we just had liftoff with that 911 call stuff. And now now it's going to be an overdrive, you guys. Like, it took a little time to get the boosters attached and all this stuff, but now, man, that thing was fire gone. Now I feel like it's just he's imploding. Information's coming out. People are getting more comfortable that are talking. More people are reaching out. I feel like it's not long, man. It's not long.
Yeah.
It's not going to be long. The only thing that's going to take the longest is the web that exists.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to all the financial and the directions. But there is one thing that I totally believe. And I totally believe that the financial investigation is going to lead to a reopen of the investigation for Micah Miller's passing, because I've always felt that the financials had something to do with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
think it's already open. I think they're already investigating it.
Oh, they have been.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, oh, you think they're investigating her passing now?
Yes.
Since you think they're that far ahead?
Since May 13th.
Since May 13th. Why do you feel that way? Since May 13th?
Because I guess it doesn't matter now. Early on, I was one of the people that contacted DOJ because I knew that they were over the FBI, and now we know that the DOJ has been questioning people. May 13th was when Robeson County came out and made the announcement that they requested the Attorney General and the FBI. They didn't request Crapola. The Attorney General and DOJ and FBI came in and took over the investigation. So that's what happened. They're just trying to save face. They're just trying to, because they know that area has been known for
corruption,
sloppy work. Yeah, corruption, exactly. And so, it's out of their hands now. God only knows what's going to happen to that sheriff's department. I don't know.
Since May 13th, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's July.
Yeah.
That quick, huh?
I don't think her death is the only one that they're investigating.
I mean, you're talking like 2 weeks after she passed.
And then you got to add to that, there's so many factors to this case. It's financial, there's deaths, as possible human trafficking. I mean, there's just
that's why I'm saying, like, that's why I don't think they would have even came close to investigating her passing yet, because of all those things. I think there's so much that they have to work through first. I mean, financial investigations can take multiple years here.
Why were they brought in? They were brought in, somebody asked, why were they brought in? They were brought in because her death is directly related to pretty much whatever she handed into the authorities right before her passing.
Well, I mean, that would make sense, like, because she had information that was going to get him in trouble.
Yeah.
I would think that there's motive from the beginning, so that's why I would think if the FBI was investigating at that point, they would say that they were investigating that as well as the financials, because if
you notice how quiet they are, right? You notice how very quiet they are?
Yeah, but
that's a great sign.
Yeah, but I would I mean, I would see it being more of a secret that they're investigating the church financials than the passing. Because the passing already took place. So nothing really too much can change. So that would be easier to promote that you're investigating, because ain't nothing going to change. You can't change the alibi. You can't change the events that took place.
Right.
You can't change the events that took place. You can't change the fact that she's gone. No. With the financials, a whole bunch of stuff can take place yesterday, today, or tomorrow. So that is more of a fluid situation that you might not want to tip people off. You know what I'm saying?
No, nobody's being tipped off. It's already done. There's nothing. I keep saying, and I must have said about 100 times in my videos to JP and the Fly Monkeys, there's no escaping this.
Well, of course not. But you think the financial investigation is done already?
I just think it's tied to so many different things. It's going to be one big, massive,
Well, that's why I'm saying it's going to take multiple years for them to even be done investigating the financials, because of everything that's involved with it. There's so many things to it. The spider web is what I keep referring to it.
I think that they should take him in for something.
Yeah, so many layers.
Whatever the easiest thing is that you can, so many layers exactly.
That we may not even know, you know what I mean? So that's why I find it hard to think that they're...
I say take him off the streets before... You can't hide from the FBI.
I just...
Thank you.
I always felt from the beginning that it was tied to it, because, I mean, hello, she just filed for divorce, and... I mean, he's got a girlfriend. It's not too hard.
No, I got to tell you, CJ, no matter whether you're there or you're at home, you're going to be the one that I see right now when he's in cuffs and they're all coming out of the woodwork, because that's what's going to happen. When he's in cuffs, the people who have the information from the inside, have witnessed and seen, they're going to be more comfortable to talk, and that's going to be to you.
Oh, yeah. They already talk to me. They just don't want their voices aired. They just don't want their voices aired or even recorded. And I totally understand, because, I mean, heck, everybody, it's not too hard. You don't have to talk to the locals to understand that everybody that's involved outside of these particular people are scared as hell. It's not a secret. And yeah, when they're all reaching out like the way they are, like some of these people, they don't want their voices recorded and they don't want their faces recorded. But some of these people don't care that JP is out there seeing me talk to these people. They don't care about that. They just care about what JP can find out, because he doesn't have a device that, well, as far as we know, he doesn't have a device that can record our conversations when we're talking. But if there is something that's put out there, well, then of course. I don't know. It's
so much larger than we have been allowed to see so far. But that's such a good thing. We don't want it to be compromised. So
no, that's how the investigation said.
We're keeping the pressure by doing, these shows and the videos and whatnot. on the feds, so that's a good thing. That's a very good thing, especially the protests as well. That's keeping, and that's what I think ticks off JP and the Flying Monkeys. Somebody needs to make a rock group called JP and the Flying Monkeys. I think, and as regards to Susie and JP being married and they can't testify against each other, well,
Yeah,
I think,
they can.
yeah, they can. I think they can get out of it, but they can if they choose to.
Right.
One and two, I think the reason why they did that is because they're both just as culpable in this whole thing.
You think she is? I think she's. I don't know. I feel like she might be a victim, like Micah.
I think she got caught up.
Yeah, I think she saw what took place with Micah. She obviously knew what was happening to Micah because JP had to be screaming to her about it. And I think she probably, once she got into that, because they even some of the people at the protests, I was talking to one of them and they were like, yeah, he come walking up to me saying something and like he could manipulate my mind or something. Like he had this smile on him, like he wasn't used to a girl telling him no, and I was like, dang. Like she's like, yeah. I was like, what do you mean? Like he walked up to you all cocky, like he was King Tut, just like, the Mr. Man. And she's like, yeah, he gave me this little smirk and he had like a wink in his eye and stuff. And it was disgusting. I'm like, so it could have been one of these things. Like she could have been, oh my gosh, he's this, like all these other people that were part of the congregation. He's this amazing person. And then once he, just like a spider web, once you touch that web,
yeah, you're in. Yeah, you're in it. Yeah.
You can fight as much as you want. Good luck.
Yeah, but in regards to Susie or anybody that's in it, as you say, like maybe that where he can blackmail them, the smartest thing for them to do is to seek immunity and start singing.
I bet you there's a lot of already.
I would assume that there are. That's why they're so quiet. I mean, I just look forward to the case. When it finally hits the court, I'm going to buy so much popcorn, dude. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. I may even just take the trip and sit in the courtroom.
I've already felt that Susie or Trish has already been talking. I've already felt that.
They would be smart if they were.
I've always felt that for a while.
I always feel like somebody on the inside is kind of a plant.
I think it's
on
more
the
Susie.
Inside playing friendly.
Yeah.
With JP. Yeah.
That's why I told JP a few weeks ago, bro, you might want to double check the people next to you. Because I don't know. When people know that much and it's falling apart.
Well, I can tell you, Vivian wants to know.
Nice.
She wants to know where I'm at. I can tell you that I'm in an Air Force base in Georgia. That's all I can tell you.
That's cool, White Tiger. I don't think we're showing any of that tonight. But if you want to send me a link, you can. evilcj@gmail.com.
Is Trish enrolled? I would think Trish should be the first one. I would think Trish should be the first one.
I would too.
Yeah.
I think that's why when she went to the hospital, because they had the secret meeting a few weeks ago, there was 4 of them at Solid Rock. Randall, JP, Trisha, and Susie. Maybe it was a month ago. They all 4 showed up on a Wednesday night.
Wow.
That weekend, all of a sudden Trish is in the hospital. Hey guys, I got to go to the hospital. This is before the service. A couple days before the service. Hey guys, I got to go back. I got to go to the hospital. A couple days later, we find out she was wanting to end her life. She quit taking her medicine.
Yeah.
And then ended up quit taking her medicine and got sick. Why do you? And when that happened back then, I said, I bet you the whole secret meeting was because somebody got questioned. They wanted to know what was asked, what
Wow.
was told so they could all keep on the same narrative according to what was just said to the FBI. And I
Right.
think the pressure got to Trisha too much because I think she was the one that was questioned, because she's the one out of that whole group that has been in trouble for money, financial
Yeah.
crimes. And
Yeah.
I think she was questioned, and I think she was freaking the hell out.
Flipped
That's
her
why
out.
they
Yeah.
had the secret meeting. Randall was there, JP was there, Susie was there. I think Susie's been positioned to take over Trisha's spot here soon.
Wow.
And it was probably what was asked, what did you say? Because I got to make sure if they come ask me, or they come ask Randall, or they come ask Susie, we all need to know, did you say yes or no to this question? And I think the pressure was too much for her. And I think that's why she wanted to, quote, not take her medicine anymore and
Wow.
end her life. Because before that, because she's been a little different since these protests since she went to the hospital. But before that protest right there, before she was sick, all those ones before, coming out there going like this.
Really? No, my goodness.
Yep. All just
Wow.
doing all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, you're sick enough and you want to sit there and you want to blame it on family issues. You want to blame it on family issues that you quit taking your medicine so you could... No, it's probably because you had so much pressure on you. You're the one that has already dealt with financial crimes before, so you know more than anybody out of that group right there what the hell's about to happen.
Well,
and
then
all of
in
a
that
sudden, it's
case,
like, oh my gosh.
In that case, it makes sense that the feds would go for her first. Absolutely. Man, I'd love to be an interrogator for 5 minutes.
How do you go?
Or at least a fly on the wall.
And then all of a sudden...
Well, because in the beginning, they must have felt very cocky. And as
they were.
Went on, it got chipped away.
Yep. That's
little by little. That's why this Sunday, I just feel like it's an empty threat. It's just to intimidate. It's going to go absolutely nowhere. If anything, it's going to backfire once again in their face.
I hope that's what it is, because
it will absolutely.
Because if there is some reason that they're able to cook up something for one of these people to get arrested, I just pray for their safety, because who knows what's going to happen after they're in cuffs. We don't know. And who knows what's going to happen to them after the fact that they were apprehended gets promoted to the public as such too. It's very dangerous what could happen. So I hope to God it's a joke. I really do.
Either way, whatever they're threatening, at least there's a lawyer involved. I'd love to know about the lawyer, because I'd love to be able to, assist in...
I don't know for sure who's in. I don't know anything about any lawyers being.
I might reach out to Allie and just.
I already reached out to her and I didn't get anything back. I reached out to her
funds or something, just to make sure that he's or he or she is.
Yeah,
their tactics are weak. Absolutely.
Let me see if she wrote back. Hold on. I reached out to her a little bit after the show started. Once I brought it up, I went ahead and I don't see anything yet. Let me message her on Facebook instead. When it comes to that, as far as I know, because I just sent the information, I think it was 2 days ago when I sent it. So, and this was somebody that was wanting to help. So I don't know, what's all taking place like that. I haven't heard anything. I would imagine if there was, she would have reached out and told me. But I went ahead and sent her a message on Facebook too. Unless she texts me, hold on. No, I don't. She didn't respond. I know she's busy tonight. She said she had something going on. I'm sure she'll reach back out. But that's the thing. I hope it's a joke, because if it's not, somebody can be in serious danger for nothing because they're there exercising their constitutional rights.
That can be a very serious offense if they, I mean, there's footage from various people that you guys are within the law. And so it's going to be a very dangerous thing for Solid Rock and for Myrtle Beach Police Department to act on an unlawful arrest just because they're feeling harassed.
I mean, who knows if it's unlawful? We don't even know what they're planning. They could have planned something that is lawful. Because when you're dealing with lawyers, a lot of them know how to manipulate the laws too. And so it really could be a situation where they could manipulate
That's what I'm saying.
The situation where it is legal, where you could say it's unlawful. They could manipulate a situation to make it lawful.
Well, that's a little different, especially constitutional law, which is a federal law, and you got a federal investigation going on. That would be a real tricky. I mean, maybe at first they would be able to possibly, I don't think they will, but let's just say for argument's sake, it would be possible for them to initially get some success. It would end up being their downfall, a horrible downfall.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is it's like this. Lawyers know laws better than us protesters. Lawyers know ordinances better than us protesters. Lawyers know the laws of the police better than the protesters. That's why we're having an issue. So when the lawyer knows more laws, ordinances, how police work, how arrests work, how all these things take place, what I'm saying is the church can be crafty enough to manipulate a situation to where they can lawfully arrest somebody. We've been talking for days about what it could be, and none of us have any idea how it could be anything. Like, none of us have any idea about what it could be. They could manipulate it.
For example, the ACLU, which I would absolutely get involved if anything happens to you on Sunday. I'll be the first one to contact them. Now, we've gone over the First Amendment, but there's also international human rights laws, and there are treaties that protect your right to protest. So the protection over what you're doing on public ground, it'd be a very, I mean, the ACLU.
It could be like this. It could be like this. It could be like this. This is lawful, right, Ann?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody that was carrying a pistol was on school property, is that lawful?
Well, no, but that's different. This is not a school.
There's a school right across the street. The parking lot where all the protesters park is a school. So they could literally manipulate a situation to where somebody that is lawfully carrying a weapon, they could manipulate a situation to where maybe that person that's carrying a lawful weapon ends up just on a skosh of the school property, and next thing you know, that protester's getting arrested lawfully. That's what I'm saying. They know the laws more than us protesters.
They can twist it to get an arrest, but
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
You will not see jail time. You will not.
Nobody would see jail time if they were busted carrying a weapon on school property across the street?
Because if this was a state that didn't allow for you to carry, then yes, they would have. If you're standing across the street on public property.
Because that's what I was told from Allie. Allie told me that if anybody carries a weapon, do not even step foot on that school property because they can get arrested.
Yeah, well, then I would absolutely tell everybody not to do. I mean, that would.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay.
That's what I've been trying to explain to you. They could manipulate the lawyers.
Yeah.
The lawyers know more. They know about the laws more. They know about how the police arrests work. They know all of this stuff.
That's
and
entrapment.
They could be crafty enough to. Is it entrapment? Is it entrapment if they say, "Hey, so and so, come over here for an interview real quick," And next thing you know, they're like, oh, I'm going to go interview with this news station. Next thing you know, the cop goes, hey, do you got a weapon? Yeah. Well, you're on school property.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That's all I've been saying this whole time.
If that's the concern,
lawful arrest.
If that's the concern, I wouldn't park in the parking lot of that school.
All of us protesters, we're ahead of that.
Okay, good.
We're ahead of that. I'm trying to use that as an example to explain to you that they can manipulate a situation to get a protester arrested
they
lawfully.
Can manipulate. Sure. Well,
lawfully.
They can manipulate. They have to manipulate the law to do it.
That's all I've been saying.
Right.
Yeah, the church can manipulate it.
They would have to do that. So that means that it would not be legal. And so to do that, as I said, ACLU will descend down on that place like white on rice, and that will be a very ugly thing.
How can you prove that the church did it if somebody else said, hey, come on over here, I want to talk to you for an interview? How can you say, hey, so-and-so, the church made you do that? You can't. Do you see what I'm saying?
But it would go according to who made the call. Right, but it would go according to who made the report, who made the call, who made the complaint. That's what they would go after.
And the church is crafty enough where they would make sure that they could distance themselves from that and have the protester arrested.
The ACLU will figure it out. They have lawyers, they have PIs, they've got all the resources that would be needed to find it out.
But they're not there.
No, they're not there yet. But
they're not there. And somebody can get arrested legally. That's all I'm saying. Somebody can end up getting arrested, shown on photo. WBTW 13's got a photo of somebody with handcuffs from the protest getting hauled away because they did this and this and this. And next thing you know, the bad image of the protesters is getting promoted, and the church, being crafty enough because their lawyers know more than we do, can say we didn't have nothing to do with it.
If what's her name, Allie's been talking to an attorney, the attorney's going to give instruction. For example, somebody in the chat just said,
I don't know.
Somebody says, "Come on."
Has she? Because she hasn't said anything to me about an attorney. So
okay, because I would assume that attorney is going to say, for example, if somebody says, come on over here, you go, no, I'm not coming over here. I'm not going to talk to you. And somebody comes out of the blue, like the Dominion TV, whatever girl that was last week, just don't even speak to her. Don't even say, I'm sorry, can't.
Yeah. But the thing is
my lawyer.
Like we've all discussed this already. Yeah. This is the thing. We don't all just show up at the same time.
Right.
And there's new people that come every week.
Yeah.
So to sit there and say them, that everybody, I mean, hell, there was one of the protesters that missed 2 weeks, didn't even know about the bullhorn rule, even though we all got together again that next weekend about the bullhorn rule. Right. And then somebody comes a little late, all of a sudden, here you go.
Yeah.
We can take all these proper precautions, but the thing is that little small percentage can still exist.
Okay, but I'm saying is, it would have to be super crafty, and it's very little that they can do to get a protester who's on public property. Hear me out now, okay? It would take a lot. And I don't think they're that smart, and they really don't have anything against you guys. But hold on.
Half of them stand in the school property. I'm just letting you know.
They need to stop doing that. But the ACLU...
There's no way. We can't. That's the only place they can, because there's no other... I'm being serious. 3/4 of the people that go to these protests and stand on the school property.
As long as they're not holding any weapons, they're fine. I mean,
we don't know. We don't know. It could be a neighbor that comes up that none of us have ever seen before. But hear me out. It's a Sunday morning. There's no kids there. It's a sidewalk. It's public property. So it would be a real. I got to show you.
It would not be smart Because
I got to show you the land.
Yeah, I agree. Don't carry. No, I know what you're talking about. But if the
You need to.
if the
You need to.
ACLU were to get involved, the attention that would be put on this case would make it even worse for JP Miller, even worse for Solid Rock. If they think this protest is annoying, the ACLU will be bringing in people from California. It will be like people descending down on this, and it'll be a headache that they will not be able to handle. I'm telling you, it'll be ugly for them.
But when you're talking, but this is what you have to understand when it comes to people that have nothing to lose. They don't care about that. They don't care about that. They care about the now.
Yeah.
They don't care about a month from now.
That's
when
why
you're
they
talking,
keep failing.
right. And when you're talking about people like these people that have nothing to lose, they don't care about the ACL or whatever, the ACLU. They don't care. Because as far as they know, they might be in jail by the time the ACLU does anything about it. As far as they're concerned, they want this to happen now. Because if they don't stop that grass fire now, they might not have a house no more in a couple weeks.
I don't think anything's going to happen. I really don't.
I hope not. I hope not.
But is that, are you talking about this pompous, dry pampas? Pompous?
Well, I just want to say, like, to any, right here, this is a campus. This is a campus. This is where everybody stands.
Okay.
This is where everybody stands. The public property you're talking about is this dark mulch area right here. That's public property. Everybody stands on this side. You got some people standing on the sidewalk here.
Yeah.
Almost everybody stand behind all over here. This is where everybody stands.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there anymore. I mean, I wouldn't go that far back.
That's the only spot that's where they can go. That's it.
What's behind
because
there?
if they fill up on the sidewalk, there's no room for anybody to walk. And look, there's no places where anybody could stand. That's why everybody stands here. So when you can easily manipulate a situation like the church can, and you can, as simple as somebody that we don't even know could be carrying, and next thing you know, hey, do you got a gun? Well, this is a campus. You're not allowed to have a weapon. You can be arrested.
Well, then just don't go on. Just go on the sidewalk. Stay on the sidewalk. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that simple because there's no room. There's no room because it's already filled up with people on the sidewalk. So if all these people here transferred to the sidewalk then it would become a public nuisance because people that are publicly also available to go up and down the sidewalks would then complain, and then the protest would be pushed away. So the only thing that we could do, because we don't want to discourage anybody from coming, we want to encourage as many people from coming. And because we encourage as many people to come, this is the place that they have to stand, because unfortunately, there is no other room for anybody to stand. This right here, it's all houses right here. This has all been developed.
Well, all I can say is
there's nothing.
Stay on sidewalks. Anything that's public property, they can't do anything about it. You got to look into the laws.
Yeah, we know that. We know. Yeah, we know.
They can do nothing.
We already know, like the sidewalk and the property. Like that's something that the organizers have done a tremendous job doing from the get-go. Is keeping everybody reminded of what the property lines are and where we can exist. That's not the problem. It's not at all. The problem is that we're in a situation where, like I said, the church can be crafty enough to pull something and legally get away with it.
Well,
that's why we've all.
CJ says there's no law that protects that. None, not even one. I've searched it. I studied it. It's not there. They can pull something. Yes, I agree with you. But it would have to be in an illegal, twisted law manner. And if they do that, they are effed up big time.
Look what they did this weekend, Ann.
Oh yeah. Well,
they sent somebody else
Yeah.
Pretend. So how are you going to prove that Solid Rock did that?
Because of the affiliation. He's already admitted it on video. They're affiliated. They're giving him money. He said it on video.
So
That's the connection.
so that would be enough to wipe whatever protester got arrested, their stuff off the record because of the association.
It was almost immediate. Yes, because it was almost. He just admitted a week before this girl showed up that Dominion TV has given them money and paying for the legal fees for the guy who sprayed water in everybody's face. So they're already involved. He admitted the involvement, the direct involvement Dominion TV has now with the protesters. So, and she was identified that day. She was told by two different people, one on the internet and in person, you have no consent to use anything from me, whether it be by word or by video or by audio, nothing. So they've been called out. They've been identified.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to use it as an example for this situation.
No, I understand that.
Because we don't know if Solid Rock told Dominion TV to do it or if Dominion chose to do it on their own accord. That's what I'm getting to. Do you know if Solid Rock suggested it to him or if Dominion.TV did it on their own accord? We don't know.
Everything is intent. Everything in
we don't know.
But wait a minute. Everything is intent when you in court. Okay, so Dominion TV has no reason to affect the protesters in front of Solid Rock. They have nothing. They have no foot in the game. You know what I mean? So they would have, and he's already admitted that they're involved with paying for the legal fees for one of the guys who sprayed the protesters.
Yeah, but that's a different situation.
No, it's all connected. It's all connected. Now it connects Dominion TV with the protests that are going on in front of Solid Rock. So that's how you put it. He keeps opening his mouth and just literally giving everything to us on a silver platter.
So what you're saying is if there's a fake news crew out there again, and they catch one of these protesters off guard that is legally carrying a firearm, they catch one of these protesters off guard into the area of the campus, they get arrested, and because of what Solid Rock is getting in donations from Dominion TV, that protester doesn't have to worry about having that arrest of carrying a weapon on a school property that just gets wiped clean?
It would be a pretty big fight. However, it would be really stupid to have a gun on you and be on school ground.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. If a person is manipulated and is caught off guard and ends up walking on the property caught off guard, and gets busted carrying a weapon on a property of a school, gets arrested.
They might get arrested, but
you can sit there and go into, I would imagine you could sit there and go into court and say, well, they just paid this guy's sprinkler bill last week, so that means that they did this, and I would see them going, please.
That's what I said. I said they can try to arrest.
You can tell people all day to not carry a weapon, but everybody's their own adult, Tiffany. You can sit there and say, don't carry a weapon. Everybody is their own person. Everybody's an adult there. There's only been a couple kids, and the parents watch over the kids.
Well, there's only so many people
I can sit there and advise people not to do something, but if they're going to do it, they're going to do it.
As I said, if they pull this off, and I don't think they will. If they pull it off, and I don't think they will
either.
I don't think they will. But, and if anybody's listening from the Flying Monkeys, let me just tell you right now. Go look up the ACLU. If you do this, I will be in touch with the ACLU within a minute. And when that happens, you're going to have protesters up and down that street
right there
from all over the nation. Oh, that's right. She did do something illegal, and it was me who actually called it out. So all over the nation, you will have people coming in, and if they think that 45 people are a problem, Wait till they have 450 people on the streets. And that's what the ACLU will bring in. So if that's the game you want to play, Flying Monkeys, Phil Foggy jump.
That's
because
the thing.
I'm telling you, it's going to get ugly for you and quick. And I'll make
That's
sure
the thing. They want somebody. They need the story now. They don't care how somebody gets arrested.
I understand. They're stupid.
They don't care.
They're sloppy.
They don't care.
Stupid.
They want a news story on Monday morning to say protester arrested. They don't care if they got arrested for putting pickles on the bottom of the patty. It doesn't matter what the reason is.
Right.
The reason is they just want somebody arrested.
They get a story,
so they can put the story out there. Because the story they've been putting out there has already been discrediting all of us protesters.
That story won't even make it.
And the public and the public's general opinion of us is not good.
That story will not even make
It's
it to
not
Monday
good.
night. Okay, but CJ, that story won't even make it to Monday night. That's what I'm saying.
I already know that, and I said it was this much of a percentage.
Call them
this
anyway.
much.
I
mean, when me and all the protesters are talking the last few days about what could it be, that's why none of us can come up with anything, because it's this much of a percentage. But this is why I'm saying what I'm saying tonight. This much of a percentage is still a percentage.
Well, you know what? Then that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I think I'm going to contact the ACLU tomorrow. Maybe it's time to get them involved. If we're going to keep doing this to the protesters, it won't stick. It doesn't matter who calls. Absolutely right. And so maybe it's time to get them in, because you know what? The protesters already been assaulted. The protesters already have been, approached by somebody who was playing the press and wasn't really. So you know what? Maybe it is time.
Assaulted multiple times.
Maybe
multiple times.
Thank you for
just
saying
one
that.
One time people pressed charges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other times people were assaulted and we were just, just like, hey, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And yes, Michael, there is signs posted. The school, there's parking only. I guarantee you right now, the cops could go. There's signs in each one of those parking spots where it's patient parking only, school parking only. The school allows the protesters to park there. Otherwise, we would have to park like 5 blocks down the street. So look, I'll show you guys. So they allow everybody to park in these areas here, right here. You can park here in these spots. You can park in these spots. You can park in these spots. You can park in these spots, and these spots. There is signs posted in every one of these parking spots that says it is property of that school. If we wanted to walk where it was a total public parking lot, let me show you. Here's the church, okay? Look at how far we'd have to walk. I have to keep going. Right here is the parking lot that we would be able to park at if we weren't allowed to park at that school. This is the only public parking lot right here. And you're literally all the way down here. You can't, it's from one side of the screen to the other. And that's how far everybody would have to walk. Right here, you're right, Michael. There are signs posted. Yes. That's why I asked Allie, will people get arrested on there? She goes, I don't park there. And there's reasons why. And I said, I gotcha.
Let me see, I'm trying to find. So there is an ACLU in every state, and there is one in South Carolina. So I'm going to find a way to contact them now. Here it is.
And I know she's busy. I haven't got a word back if there's any attorney yet. I don't know. I think she would have to contact the Francis family and get their approval for different things and stuff like that too. So I don't know how quick it would be. Would I say, unless, would I think there'd be one this weekend? It would be, that'd be really, really, really quick.
Now, here's the thing. They're going to need somebody to contact over there. So could I have them contact you since you're there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
fine.
get your permission. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally fine. Because I'm not worried about me. I'm not worried about Allie. I'm not worried about a lot of the people that are there all the time. I'm worried about the people that haven't been there, the people that don't understand, the people that are just coming to support. Those are the people that I'm worried about, because all of us protesters are in communication, and if we're not communication directly from one protester to another, the protester that we each talk to talks to that person, and you know what I mean? So we all are in accord when it comes to the communication and what's expected and all these different things. It's the people that aren't, because there is a lot of other people, especially the last couple weeks. There's a lot of other people that have started to show up, and the crowds have been getting bigger. And I'm afraid for one of them that doesn't watch YouTube or TikTok or Facebook and doesn't talk to any of the protesters, and they just show up, come in there to support. And next thing you know, all of a sudden this person's getting led in handcuffs, and then a particular message is getting pushed out there even more. And then who knows what kind of danger that would put the protesters in place. Because if you got somebody saying that you're doing things against a religion, you got somebody saying that you're doing things against respect to somebody else's place to worship, and then you get somebody that's arrested. There's a lot of radical people out there, and those especially with and then he even said we weren't patriotic. Think about that. Patriotism, religion, and then the fact that somebody would actually get arrested, that could be promoted in such a way where it's like somebody would be like, you know what, this is enough. Now somebody got arrested. Why isn't anybody stopping these people? Blah, 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 blah. Because that's what they want. They want the public to feel that way, because they can't push us away. And so they're trying to get the public on their side to then push us away. Because if we don't have the public support, then we can't do
the public will never side with them. As much as anybody, it will never happen.
But
never.
they can side with non-religion, they can side with non-patriotic, they can side with that. And it's the fanatics that I'm
talking as well
about.
As anybody else that community wants them the hell out of there. They can't
No, I'm talking about the fanatics. That's why I said fanatics. The fanatics of religion, the fanatics of patriotism, that are, when you're saying vicious pagans and we're calling them murderers and we're not patriotic and we're doing all these nasty things. CJ, somebody that doesn't know the truth can be manipulated, just like all those people that went there.
What are the hours that you guys on Sunday morning have been protesting? Starting when?
We start. There's some. I would say 8 in the morning. 8 in the morning. There's at least 2 or 3 people, because I'm usually there right at 8 or a few after, and then about 8:30 is when a lot of the people start coming in. So there's a few, I would say, because 8 o'clock, they're getting tables set up. They're setting up displays.
Till what time would you say?
And up until, it varies from anywhere from noon to 2. But usually I would say like 12:30, something like that. Okay. Maybe 1 o'clock. It all depends, because sometimes we're all there. It really depends on when the people leave inside. There's people there. There was people there a couple weeks ago until 2 in the afternoon.
803 Howard Avenue.
Oh, thank you, Tamara. She emailed the policy for that campus.
Myrtle Beach.
Weapons. Okay.
North Carolina.
So here's the weapons policy. Except as otherwise provided by law. This is according to HGTC, which is the campus that is located there. No person except for a licensed guard, law enforcement officer, or active member of the armed forces shall possess a firearm of any kind on the premises, property, and or properly immediately adjacent to the owned, operated, or controlled by Ori Georgetown Technical College, including grounds and parking lots of Ori Georgetown Technical College or college-sponsored events. Wow, that's worse than I thought. I thought it was just the parking lot. They even said and or property immediately adjacent to. That's even, thank you, Tamara. And I know you're a local too. That's not good. That is a lot more drastic than I thought it was. Whoa.
Residents have given.
Here, let me take a screenshot so you guys can read it. I don't want to put the personal out there. Hold on. I'll take a screenshot and show you. Yikes. Let's see here.
I'll give them the number that I have for you, CJ. Is that the good? Is that a good number? Okay.
Yeah, this is worse than I thought. I could definitely see them because that's where everybody. I mean, there's no other place to go. So I just need to let everybody know that goes there. And you know what? Let me send this. Thank you so much, Tamara. I'm going to send this to my phone. That way I can go let everybody read it when I get there. Because that could really, somebody just innocent as hell, wanting to come support could easily be manipulated into a situation where they can get arrested. And I wonder if this is what they're cooking up. I really do. I wonder if this is what they're cooking up. I bet you this is what they're trying to do to get somebody arrested. They're trying to catch somebody legally carrying, just coming there to support. Man, sneaky, sneaky. Oh, I can stand anywhere. If I'm carrying, I can't go on that property, but if I'm not, because just because you're not carrying doesn't mean you can't have it in your trunk, in a case, locked up, you know.
In front of Solid Rock Church and Market Common at 803 Howard Avenue, Myrtle Beach.
Dang.
The protesters have already been assaulted by others. We also have had many people from inside the church try to entrap protesters to get them arrested. Now we have threats coming Sunday morning. The protesters have always stayed within the law on public property, and local residents have given their support as well. Please advise to give support in any way you can, as soon as you can.
I know, Vivian, it was so hot 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. It was horrible.
Okay. It just went out.
Thank you. Yeah, this is worse than I thought it was. Because I didn't know it was this. When it says and or property immediately adjacent to and owned, operated, or controlled by HGTC. When the weapon remains.
There was a threat. Cherry, I think, asked. Somebody.
It says.
And it's Loki, and Loki is Micah's dog's name, and I think it's JP because that's all he knows of his empty threat.
It also says. Let me see. Weapons, firearms legally secured in person vehicles must not be removed from the vehicle while on the grounds. Violation of these provisions may result in criminal prosecution and or college. That's with college though. I bet you this is what they're. This has to be it, because this is everything that we've tried to figure out. That's why none of us protesters can. We can't come to a conclusion. I'm gonna share this out with everybody. Thank you, Tamara. I really seriously,
Awesome.
for real, because this right here. There, like I said, there's so many people that are standing out in this little section right here.
Yeah.
And just there to protect, just there to show support. And this is where mostly everybody stands, is this general area right here. All in this. Even over here on the left in the grass, it goes over to there. It's all back through here. You have people parked here in golf carts, people setting up tables, all sorts of people. This is where I walk to when I start off my streams. And you know what? I'm just going to, as soon as, I think what I'm going to do, you guys, is normally I go hang out, I go hang out around different parts of the church, you guys. I think what I'm going to do, this weekend is I'm going to stay over here and I'm literally going to warn everybody. I'm going to leave my camera. So this weekend, I may not be coming up through here. Okay. I might just leave my camera here and walk around and just inform everybody. Look, do you have a weapon? If you have a weapon, here's the policy. Do me a favor. If somebody else is over here and I don't get to them, ask them if they have a weapon. Do me a favor. Inform this person if I'm not there. I think that's going to be my mission for this protest, is to make sure that everybody in this area is well informed of this weapons policy. That way, if somebody is, they can get on the other side of the freaking road before something happens. That's my mission, because that's the only thing that I can think of.
In South Carolina, a governing body of a county municipality or political subdivision may temporarily restrict the otherwise lawful open carrying of a firearm on public property when it issues a permit to allow a public protest rally.
We don't have a permit.
That might also be.
We don't have a permit.
That might just be.
We don't need a permit.
You don't need a permit, right? But let me finish. Don't bring your firearms, because then you're protected from this. That's my point.
No, I can't. What I'm saying is I can't tell Billy to not bring a firearm if I don't know who Billy is until he comes up to the protest.
Right. Well, I'll send this to you.
That's why I need to go around and make it my mission on Sunday to go up to Billy and say, Billy, I never seen you before. Are you carrying a weapon? Oh, you're carrying a weapon? Here's the weapons policy, Billy. You might want to get on the other side of the street, Billy, before you get arrested.
Yeah, I just sent it to you in a text. And so if there's any way you can just print up a whole bunch of them and just pass them out. At that point, you can't be responsible for whomever doesn't listen to it. You can only be responsible for the ones who, comply, right? You can only do so much. And yet,
but when it comes, this is the weapon. So this right here, let me show. Hold on. Let's see. So when it comes to the weapons policy of HGTC, does that not take over? Let's see. Where is it? Where did it go?
I'm sorry. My television is playing, and it's a big screen. It's playing me and CJ on it. My cat is just up there staring at me, and I'm
It's like JP's truck, Ann. Wait a minute. What?
I'm sorry, Niley.
So No, I think I know everybody's grown adults, but never mind. This is about people that don't understand, that need to be informed, that can be innocent people.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's an adult and can wipe their own rear. But at the same time, I didn't know that this weapons policy existed. And just because I'm an adult doesn't mean that I should know the weapons policy at HGPC. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're an adult or not. You need to be informed. I wasn't informed. Tamara informed me. Now it's my job to go inform Billy and Susan.
Can I say something? Yeah. I honestly think that all of this has taken place because you guys have been covered by prayer from the very beginning. And without even realizing it, this might have been the actual threat, and we just did a preemptive strike on it.
Yeah, with the 911 stuff. Yeah,
no, I mean, we were just speculating that it was related to this, but I have a feeling that's the law they were going to use against you, and we just came across it.
Yeah, when Tamara sent this right here, that's right here. This is it. It's it. Because the reason I brought up the whole weapon thing on school property is because that's the only thing, as I'm talking to all these people and all these protesters, that's, other than the peaches, that's the only other thing that makes sense to me, is why I brought it up in the first place in the show. When Tamara sent this in, to me, that already solidified it right there, because when I see on any kind of the premises and property immediately adjacent to, that right there is the ticket that the church was using. That's why I said I need to go inform everybody.
Yeah, that plus I think they were going to use that law to not so much
this one
arrest, not so much arrest, but stop the protest and where the governing body of a county, a municipality, a political division may temporarily restrict an otherwise lawful open carrying of firearms. So they were probably either going to threaten arrest or just go, okay, this protest is over and everybody had to leave, or you were going to get arrested. So now if you guys show up with no firearms, nothing shown on you, they can't do
right. That's why I'm saying it's my mission. And this is what I'm saying too, Tiffany. It's my mission to go up to Billy that I've never seen before, ask him if he's carrying, and if Billy's carrying, tell Billy to either put it in his trunk or go over to the other side of the street.
Right on.
Because we don't need anybody. They could just be coming there. Let's think of how many people carry a firearm these days. They just passed it in South Carolina, y'all. How many people do you think went out there and got a weapon? How many people do you think walk around with a concealed weapon that we don't even know that could be showing up there? And they're beautiful people that are there to support. It's all about being informed. It's like this. I wasn't even this informed until Tamara sent this photo.
Yeah.
Now it's my duty to make sure that everybody that comes out there follows this. Because if this doesn't happen, then they can't do anything.
Yeah. Right. And that's what we want. So we just destroyed their plan. Ha ha.
Sorry, we think a couple steps ahead of you, Solid Rock.
Well, that's I'm telling you, it's God. You guys have been protected from the very beginning, and this is part of it. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And so there you go.
Thank you so much. Community. Without community.
Community indeed. Wonderful community. Fabulous.
Man, thank you so much. I'm actually going to send this to the other protesters too. So I'm not the only one informing or going up to people and asking them. And I'm going to make it my mission. If I see somebody new, I'm coming right up to them and I'm saying, look, are you armed? Here's the weapons policy. Please read it. Either put it in your trunk, or go to the other side of the street doesn't mean go away. It doesn't mean we don't want you to
Right,
be
right,
here.
right, right.
It means we don't want you arrested
Try
because
exactly.
these are the tactics that they're trying to use.
Now, CJ, can Allie help you with getting the word out prior?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. Well, the thing is that's what I'm saying. We all talk, and if the ones that I don't talk to, I'm sure Allie does, and the ones that Melissa doesn't talk to, I'm sure I do. We all end up talking to each other. So I already talked to 10 of them. So that's 10 protesters already that I can send out this photo, explain that this is possibly what they're trying to do, and to inform or ask anybody and to advise. So you start off with us 10, plus I'm sending it to Allie. She's the organizer. She knows way more people than I do, and so I'm sure it can get out. And also, people, take a screenshot of this. Share it to these Micah Miller Facebook groups when it comes to the protesters, to make sure that any protesters that come on these Micah Miller Facebook groups also understand about the weapons policy.
That is an awesome idea.
Take a screenshot, people. Shout out Tamara and just the protesters, because I know that she's down there. She's supporting. I appreciate you, Tamara. I know who you are. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting, and thank you for being so cool, because that's the community. The community is just it's a beautiful thing, and I'm so glad that they are out there for us. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, and you too.
Yeah.
And please spread the word. Any of you that are locals here that do go to the protest, do me a favor, take the screenshot, share it to the people that you know that show up to these protests. That way, we're not running around trying to make sure maybe everybody can be somewhat informed, and there's just a small amount of people that will be able to get to. That way, everybody knows, because they're just waiting for one little slip. When you got the lawyer that's defending Sprinkler Boy, you know who it is. I can't say his name. When he's trying to use that court hearing to use that to stop the protest from happening, Judge, just from 9:30 in the morning until 11:30 on Sundays. That's it. They can go protest on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, just not from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Sundays. That's what they were trying to do at the last court hearing. They're gonna be sneaky, and they're gonna be petty, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is what it was. I wouldn't be surprised. If you want to come back up, you can, Veronica. It's the same link. It'll be the same link for the whole evening. Let me see. Let me see if there's anything breaking coming out here. I'll see if there's anything that was breaking.
I'm putting it in the Facebook groups.
Uh-oh. There's something playing.
Okay.
Whoa, something's playing, and I don't know why it's... I still haven't heard about the attorney yet, so I'll let you know. Let me see. Let's see. Send me a message. What's this? I'll send you. Oh, what?
What happened? Bless you.
There's a... What the hell? Hold on. They're in a three-way right now with Pastor Randall. They're... What? Tom is telling you. It's Tom and Randall. Tom and Randall are having conversations. Let me listen to this voicemail. Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard that. Let me see here. So that's the weapons policy. I will send that out. Let me see if there's anything breaking here real quick. And what else was there? Hold on one moment. Yeah, please share that with anybody that might be protesting or the Micah Facebook groups in case somebody does come to protest. Just advise anybody that wants to carry lawfully or unlawfully, but lawfully, to make sure that they are not. Make sure they're following that policy there for HGTC. And either advise them to be on the other side of the street or leave their weapon in a case locked in a vehicle. Man, and I can imagine how many people carry, and I can imagine how many people don't know about that. It could have been real bad. I mean, I knew it was possible because me and Allie had talked about it already, but I didn't know it was like that, where you couldn't even stand property. How is that even? That's somebody else's property. But how does that even? Somebody, what if it's somebody's property that says it was cool? How does that even work? What if the property next door to HGTC said, no, we're cool on our property?
I would assume that you would have to be standing on their property, for it to be okay.
No, what I'm saying is if you're standing on the property that says it's okay, and it's the property that's adjacent to this one, how can this policy?
I would think a resident owning property would supersede any of those things.
Well, it's a lot of businesses though. So,
it's not residences?
No, this is all businesses. Here, let me switch back.
Okay,
this is all
everywhere I could think of.
Yeah, this is all business. You can't stand here because you barely even have any room to stand there, and it's all blocked by houses. All this is business. That's all business. And what I'm saying, this is a different, unless this is part of the, no, it's not. That might be the parking lot for the school. That might be the parking lot for the school. There's houses back here, but you're not going to see nothing over here, and it won't be effective. So all this right here that you would be able to, because right here, I don't know how much of a reach you would have even from this right here. So it's all. Oops, sorry, here, let me do this. There we go. In SC, yes, CJ, what? Yeah, please do me a favor. I appreciate that. And thanks for sending that, because really that is like an extra awareness that we needed this weekend, especially with all the word of what they're trying to do. So really thank you again, because it could have been, especially with how many people carry legally now, it concealed, and it really could have been a who knows? They might have got more than they than they were looking for.
Yeah.
They only needed one, guys. We ended up with 3.
All right.
Everybody just share that, please. All right, and then let me see here. And so, and then I share this with everybody too, and the governing body of a county, municipality, or political subdivision may temporarily restrict the otherwise lawful open carrying firearm. Do me a favor, you guys, just go ahead and take a screenshot of this too. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this too. And please do me a favor, do the weapons policy and screenshot this one and put them both together. If you can do that, please. Put them both together and just advise people in these groups.
Right.
Either have, if you're going to carry, be across the street or leave it locked in the vehicle. Doesn't mean you have to leave it at home. You just can't have it on the property immediately adjacent.
I know I kind of been ruining things for JP, haven't I? Kimberly.
Yeah, that Olive Garden receipt.
What's funny is it was just circulating around TikTok for a little bit, and someone, it was probably a flying monkey, was trying to push it off as, this is it, we've got the receipt, we've broken the case.
Who was that? Who even posted it? Wasn't it on TikTok?
It was on TikTok. I don't know who posted it, but let me see if I could find the name of the woman that was trying to push it on me.
Because I had got it, yeah.
Her name was Shannon.
I had got it too. One of the protesters sent it to me as well, and it was just like 427. And I told her too, I was like, look, it doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned, after that 911 call, you can have a freaking receipt for Olive Garden at 8:00 at night. It don't mean that you weren't. Show me a receipt from somewhere in Charleston that has you on it and your signature that places you in Charleston at 10 in the morning. 10 in the morning. Then, because you're talking 2 hours, or so.
Yeah.
Well,
somebody said Guru saw him there.
Guru saw who where?
Someone just said Guru saw him there. Well, that's nice, but okay. Where? If Guru saw him there on the 27th, which is what the receipt says, then how is his truck on the highway at 2:22 in the afternoon?
So you're saying Guru saw him at the Olive Garden in Charleston?
Somebody just said that. Guru saw him.
Give me a break. Oh my gosh. So that was one of the witnesses. Guru lives in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and he went up and ended up being at the same exact Olive Garden as JP. I mean, give me a freaking break, people.
You know what? Kimberly,
give me a break.
Kimberly just said,
oh my Lord.
You're asking for receipts and they all of a sudden appear. Right on, girl.
Well, everybody knows he's a freaking neighbor. That's why he saw him at the attorney's office today. All he has to do is get out of bed and drive right down the street. Solid Rock ain't that far from where JP lives.
Guru saw him at his attorney's. Well, that makes sense because he's got.
I mean, duh, he lives right next to him.
Yeah.
Duh. I would hope so. Shoot, if he lived right across the street from me, I'd be out there too. Like, come on. It takes me a little time to get there. I can't just bloop, bloop. Otherwise, I'd be taking some more walks. And I'd be, trying to get a hold of this neighbor. I think I know who that neighbor is. And
Oh, the guy on the call?
yeah.
I was looking at the names of the neighbors, just on cold water, because I guess it curves into another street. I can't remember the name of it. But the cold water is kind of like a U. But I was looking at the neighbors on his side because I think he's like the fifth or sixth house in. Now the guy says he's at the end of the block. I'm just assuming that maybe he's near the cul-de-sac.
It's I don't want to out.
I don't either. He's trying to
I don't
protect his
wanna.
elderly mother, and so I yeah, Regina's going to destroy him.
He's on the street. He's on the street. What he's saying is the truth.
Yeah.
But I won't know for sure until actually, because I'm not going to say, because I'm not going to try and tip anybody off, but I'm not going to say when I'm going to try and see if it's him, but I am going to try, see, and then I really want to talk to this mail lady. Because I feel like
I have a feeling she's seen more than the neighbors. Seems like. Well,
Yeah.
I can't say that because if things were going on all hours of the day and night, the neighbors would know.
they would talk to her. She's like she's like the neighborhood bartender for mail.
Yeah.
Right? Because most of them. Most of them are sitting at home, and when the mail lady, hey, guess what? How was your day today? Oh, it's good. And the mail lady, if she's the one that's delivering packages and they have to have people sign for them, they have to have the door open, and you might see some interesting things with that door cracked. Or
Jody just said JP was in a video bashing the lady across the street, saying she was crazy, so she must get a show. When was he doing that? When was JP bashing the lady across the street?
So she must get a show. What does that mean? So she must get a show? What is that?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means. So
I'm not really sure either.
Answer that. Or so she go up in the neighborhood and tell her you're looking for it. No. I'll just straight up ask her. I'll be like, hey, I've been out here investigating the Micah Miller stuff out here, and
and discredit her if she says anything. But when was this, Jody? Was it just recently?
I've never heard of a video of JP.
I've never heard of this video either.
Fashions a lady across the street saying she's. Are you talking about the stuff that was said in the 911 call and you got it confused, or what? In your FOIA, did you get transcript? What? Did you get a transcript when 3 to 4 Millers testified on JP's behalf?
No, they were from the sheriff's department. I don't know anything about that.
Testified for what? What, as the witnesses? I would imagine it's 3 to 4 Millers that are the witnesses, and probably Susie. Yeah, he was here at night, and then all of a sudden JP wakes up at 4 in the frickin' morning. And
Jody, when did he say it? I know he said these things about the lady across the street. When and where? Was it on the altar? Was it True Crime Re? I mean, where did you see this? And when?
I never heard that.
I wouldn't be shocked.
All I've heard was something from like that 911 call. That's the only thing I've heard like that.
He's a narrative builder.
I haven't heard that.
Well, if she's across the street, you know what that means. mean, she's got all the information.
Well, I'm wondering who it is because I talk to a lot of people that live across the street.
She thought it was Alive with Justin on TikTok, but I haven't found it yet. Well, you know what? If it was back then, because he hasn't done lives with Justin on TikTok for a long
No,
time.
he did it one time.
Yeah.
That was it.
He may have just said it inadvertently because he's a disrespectful little schmuck.
No,
but I'm not.
He was more interested in, oh, the chat. What's the chat say? He didn't say nothing about that neighbor. It was all about him going, what's that chat say? Oh, my tattoos, my tattoos. Oh, my tattoos. Oh, okay. All right. See you guys later. There was nothing in that Justin on TikTok video that said anything like that.
Yeah,
a couple months ago. Yeah, that was the only Justin on TikTok. It was the one where he booted Robbie Epstein off.
Right. I remember.
He made Robbie Epstein get off the show before he would come up and talk. That's the same one that Guru was like, oh, I'm shaking, you guys, I'm shaking.
Yeah.
Remember? He was like so scared that he was, because I think he was shaken because he walked up to JP and JP's like, oh, you got Stinkin' Epstein on there. I'm not going to come on until Stinkin' Epstein's gone. And then, so I think Guru walked away, right? Is that right? Guru walked away, waited a minute for Epstein to hop off, and then Guru then walked back towards JP and then showed JP that he was gone. And then JP was like, oh, what's up? Oh, this is how many people's in here?
That would probably stand to reason if it was only the old lady who was making the complaint. However, if you listen to the 911 call, it's actually a few neighbors and the mail lady are all involved in that call. And the man that's speaking is actually recalling stuff the mail lady saw, recalling stuff his mother saw, recalling stuff he saw, because he said he almost got hit by that truck on that Saturday. So that'd have to be a lot of people for JP to discredit, and at this point, nobody believes anything he says. Just like Regina Ward said, nobody believes him.
Yeah, you can't. How can you? You know what I mean? Especially after that News Nation interview. That there was just...
He destroyed himself there.
That was too much.
Yeah, actually hysterical.
Yeah, I don't remember him like... I don't remember him making a huge... thing about some neighbor on there either. Like she was crazy or bashing her or whatever. I just remember him. I guess I'd have to watch it again. It wasn't very long, and I just remember him being enamored with chat, and I think he was kind of new to the whole TikTok, social media thing when it came to all that stuff, because it was like he was like seeing confetti and stuff drooping on the phone, like, oh my gosh, what is this new technology? Like, what, how many people, I can see all these people are chatting, and so it was almost like
he was really getting into it.
Right. He was just, whoa, hey. And then the tattoos, it's always showing off the tattoos to everybody. I don't understand. Has become synonymous. Yeah, I know. Did you guys see that episode of Fitz News? You saw who got interviewed on Fitz News? What's up, Jennifer?
I saw it for a second, then shut it off. I didn't was going to waste my time.
Yeah, I saw it too.
And they didn't make many numbers on it, so maybe Fitz News will learn their lesson.
I don't know. Dude reached out to me on TikTok. Well, number one, I don't return shit on TikTok, honestly. And number two, I don't care to talk to your ass in the first place. If I cared to talk to your ass, then I would have talked to your ass. But after all this shit, I don't want to have nothing to do with I don't want to be associated, period. All that damn blood money.
Right?
That's what I'm calling it, Ann. I'm calling it blood money.
Right on. That's exactly what it is.
People that want to come in and say, guess what, CJ? I support you both. Well, go ahead and take your blood money somewhere else, because I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want it. Freaking blood money. Let me see here. What else did I got? Because it's too long to go into that. Maybe how about how long are you gonna be hanging out, Ann? Because maybe.
Well, I don't know if you want
I
to
know
do.
it's late already.
It is. If you want to do where I took apart the phone call between or the recording between him and the kid.
Well, I mean, we pretty much. Well, I was thinking because there's
there's
a hidden true crime that I still wanted to get into, the Scientology.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes I still needed to get into. I wanted to go back into the cement bags that I found when I went out to Lumber River State Park when we were back there where Micah was walking through in that area. You know what I'm talking about. I found some cement bags the first time. I kind of wanted to go through that. I mean, I think we pretty much, I don't know. I think, do me a favor, you guys. I think it was a setup and it was a tactic to try and mark all the check boxes off of him being able to wipe his hands clean of Micah as soon as possible. Do me a favor, guys, in chat. Hit 1 if you think the confrontation cheating call was a setup, and type 2 if you think it was real. I'm interested to see what
Me
y'all.
too.
You know what I mean? Like, and you know what? I'm gonna
Maybe
actually.
an ocean full of ones.
I don't make enough polls. Let me make a poll real quick. It just takes me a little extra.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Start a poll. Was
15,
JP
16,
cheater?
17, 1, 2, 18, 19. 19 ones and 1, 2. And 19, 20, 21. All ones.
Right.
We only have 1, 2. Number 2.
Here's a poll.
22, 23, 24.
Was JP cheater confrontation fake? So hit that vote too. I got a poll up. I'm gonna when we end the show, I'm gonna see the exact percentage. I'm curious. Let me write this down.
So far we got 25 ones and we have 1 number 2.
Be interesting. I'll leave that up to the end of the show. So when we go to the end of the show and say thank you for joining, hope you all have a peaceful and positive evening. We'll check that poll. We'll hit end and we'll see what the percentage is. Well, if you don't know if it's fake or not, well then I wouldn't vote yes. I would just vote no. Is it fake? That's what I'm wondering. Is the JP cheater confrontation fake? Was it set up? Fake? Planned? You know?
No SOC, that's cheating. But I understand your frustration.
You can in chat, you just can't on the poll, that's all. But you can in chat because then it'll look like there's more ones. Even see, like I think TJ hit it a couple times. See,
you know what? I think that me and CJ believe both, Kylie, that the situation was staged and the call staged. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, the whole situation. Like I said, I was hearing from a few weeks ago that because at first it was like, oh wow, he did this at the beach and we all knew, and then all of a sudden I started hearing out here, no, he said that was planned. He did it for JP. And I was like, what? You mean he had somebody go cheat with his wife? And they're like, well, they didn't even really do anything. And I was like, oh, I thought they actually cheated. And they're like, no, they didn't even really do anything.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really cheating. And I'm like, Oh, yeah. Check. I get to wipe my hands clean and I get to profit from this divorce and leave her with nothing. Then I'm like, yeah. So that's what I think too. Is that you think the whole thing was just set up, period?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a narrative builder.
Yeah.
That's his MO. That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's a what do they call it? A counterattack tactic.
Yeah, it's like putting the fence up.
Because when he's a cult, it's part of the cult mentality.
Putting the fence up. Let me see here. I would like to know, and this is what I want to try and find out. So if there's any sleuthers out there, I want to know who all the trustees were for Solid Rock. So if anybody wants to sleuth out there and send me some information, I'm interested to find out who the trustees were from Solid Rock in the year 2015, 2016, and I also want to know all of the guest pastors from July 2015 until January 2016. I would like to have both lists. I would really like to have the trustees list, because I think if we have the trustees list, I think the preacher list is it's like a B, important.
Yeah, it
like
just
a B.
says the name
A+.
of the trustees.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry, Miss Cosmo.
Yeah,
it doesn't say the names of who they are. It just said the name of the actual trustee. How do you explain it? Like board. Yeah.
Yeah, there's gotta. So JP wrote. How many books did JP write?
I'm coming.
So much more powerful because.
Really? Oh, you did the video already. Right on. Now we're very close to being at the end.
Oh, for the song or whatever.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Like, I was up waiting and waiting. I mean, I think it was because I had a lot of GoPro footage was the protesters singing, and the GoPro was like, some of them were like 7.5 gigs and stuff, and I think they were just too big of
too large
file sizes. And then after like 2.5 hours of waiting for them to all load in for the email, only one of them ended up working. I was like, crap, that sucks.
You got his stuff, right? The CJ stuff? Did you find it?
No, it's no problem.
Okay. Yeah, he got it.
Only one went through. I was trying to send you like 16 clips. I had all sorts of different chants and everything, but the files were so big.
This one is perfect.
He said this one is perfect. This is
Okay.
Justice for Mike. He said it was perfect.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
If you hang around, you can see it live.
Uh-oh. How long do we got to hang around for?
Do you think it's that ready? Can I look at it first?
Yeah, of course.
You love it. I know. I'm such a control freak.
I saw your eyes there. You're like, you think it's ready? Oh, I love it.
It would be it's a total shock if it is, really. I mean, you know.
Well, as a
his
person
eyes
who
are,
makes
his eyes are
edits,
beat red because he's been in front of that computer just working on, you know.
it does it. That's what takes the most time if you're a content creator. The edits.
Okay,
really
he said we will put it up first thing in the morning on Ed
Okay.
Okay.
Sweet. On which? On what?
On
your channel?
Music.
Okay. Yeah, sweet.
Because that's where I told Mr. Francis.
Oh, I don't have that channel. Can you send?
I will
or
send
just,
it now.
Yeah, send me a link. That's right, because I would just promote your other channel. I didn't even. And then I can drop the link to that for everybody, and they can hit that and go check it out. Yeah, I would like to know the trustees, the people that preached July 2015 to January 2016.
You want to make some bets? How about we bet $10 that Duplantis is on there?
Oh, he's got to be. He's probably number one. Seriously, he gave them a $75 million jet.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, that was the sign.
He better be number one. I mean, he even said to, when he was preaching in front of JP, you don't want to make Jesse mad.
A community post. How would I do that?
I don't know.
Oh, you mean on Creator? Do you mean on Creator? I guess, yeah. That's a good idea. You guys have such great ideas, man. Really, I'll do that. Yes, I'll make an announcement and then put the link in the chat so everybody can click on it and go. You guys, man, we're a force to be reckoned with.
I appreciate you, Tamara. Thank you so much. Jesse the Planet Star. I love that laugh too.
That dude, man, he knows nothing about the mafioso. Nothing.
I was just, that it was the most disgusting sermon I had ever watched. And I only watched a part of it. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
The stuff he was saying. Just like, dude.
I couldn't get through 5 minutes of him either, but I never was able to.
So racist. It was so racist.
Yeah, I picked up on that too. Which, I'll be honest with you, that was what bothered me, because I've heard that also from JP. There's a little bit of racistness going on with Northerners, Italians, whatever. And I bothered me that they went to flow. Like, I felt like they felt like they thought they could railroad him or manipulate him. I always felt very bothered by that. So, because that's why they didn't come to you. That's why they didn't come to JLR. You know what I mean? He was the one, because they're stupid, thought that they could do that to him. So that's always bothered me. Yeah. But of course that blew up.
Well, he was kind of if you listen to him ask questions or respond to things that he's being told, he didn't seem like he was a very informed individual, because a lot of his responses were, okay, yeah, man, I get it. Sure, okay. And then it's the next it's like, where's your rebuttal, man? Like, you should have some kind of knowledge, even to stuff that was out in the general public, even if you thought that maybe Micah, the situation wasn't sketch. There's still things that he said that you would be like, you didn't say that. That's not what you said. This is not what took place. Like, there was none of that.
Yeah, that's why I wish I would have gotten that phone call from JP like now, because it would have been very different than the way it was early on. I wouldn't be so thrown off today. A puddle jumper? My cat's acting like a moron. Okay, I have to. I'm going to go finish the edit, or I guess it's finished. Put it up, and then
what
I'm going to
make
an announcement.
Do you know what time? You know what time you think you might put it out in the morning, or just sometime?
I'll be honest with you. If I get finished watching it in the next 5 minutes, I'll just put the freaking thing up tonight.
Whoa! All right, there you go. Suspense. That is what you call.
And then I'll get in front of the camera and just say, "Ladies and gentlemen, the song is completed."
Do me a favor. It's about a $400,000 plane. Oh, well, he said 75 million. Didn't he say 75 million, or was it 7.5 million? It was something million, wasn't it?
Carla, I'll make an announcement on Creator, and then I'll put the link to the music channel. So don't worry.
N623SR. I don't know what that is. I don't fly planes.
And I'm going to go get to kitties. So.
Yeah, appreciate you.
And I'll text you, CJ. I'll just let you know it's up.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I can't wait. I'll make a community post and share it out on my.
Right on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate you.
All right, hon. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Let's see. Jesse was talking about his new phone. Jesse has a phone. Jesse claims to have a jet. Jesse claimed to give. JP was sitting at the piano and he was bragging about You know, you don't want to make Jesse's friends know. You don't want to make Jesse mad. Good thing he wasn't asking his wife for the stethoscope, right? On the pulpit. Hey, babe, did you bring my stethoscope? My stethoscope. All right, let me see here. It's 11:30. Let me see how long. I want to see how long this hidden true crime is. We'll get to the episode, the behind the scenes JP here soon. We got the members live tomorrow. Let me see here. We got the members live tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow afternoon, like mid-afternoon, late evening tomorrow. So we'll be doing the members live tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to go live after the members live. I might hang out. I might hang out after the members live if it's like mid-afternoon, because we're probably going to go about 2 or 3 hours. All right. If it starts later on in the evening, then that will be the evening show. And then I'll just go ahead and end it early tomorrow, because I do have to get up at like, for the protest, I have to get up at like 6 in the morning to make sure that I'm set and everything is, you know, organized and, you know, all that stuff. And I'm able to be out there for, you know, 6-7 hours, you know, out there. It's supposed to be extra hot tomorrow. So I got to make sure I'm well prepared and rested too, because the last thing we need is anybody getting tired out there. So that is not set. We're going to have a panel. I'm still waiting for the exact time from some of the guests here. Once I get some, it's narrowed down to mid-afternoon to the early evening. So right around that area, I should have an answer tomorrow morning sometime. And then after that, we'll go ahead and have that out there. Also, I'll put out a community post to let you guys know about that too. Thank you so much. Bring a cooler. Yeah, I do need to get a cooler, actually. I do need to get one. I don't know why I don't have one, honestly. I don't know why. I mean, usually my water, I don't need it to be like ice cold or anything. But with how hot it's been here lately, it's probably because I haven't been in South Carolina in the summer like this. It's probably what it is. And I'm like, oh, damn, I do need a cooler. Even though I may have never needed a cooler before in some of these other spots. But I haven't spent time like this in South Carolina around the summer. And it is freaking hot. So it is supposed to be hot. Not as hot as it usually is, but it is supposed to be hot. Let me go to my folder here. Let's see here. We'll get to... I wanted to... Where was it at? That's an hour and 23. We're going to have to wait. Maybe what we'll do on the next one, that's a regular show, is we'll go through the hidden true crime and the behind the scenes. Because I still want to talk about those things. I think it was this one. Yeah. Conspiracy. I wanted to share this with you guys. Wanted to share this video with you guys. Shout out to Conspiracy. I love the name. It's cool. I love the wordplay. I'm all about the wordplay. See the evil. Whoops, it's over there. See the evil, Eville. It sounds like evil, but it's not spelled that way. I love the wordplay. So here is conspiracy. This is daughter-in-law to pastor speaks out about Micah's passing. This was from 2 months ago. We haven't checked it out, but I wanted to highlight this. Let me hit the like because I haven't hit the like yet. 48,000 views. It's crazy, but I wanted to share it with you guys since we've been talking about a lot of this here the last couple shows. Here's this real quick.
She gave me a phone call, and the words out of her mouth were, Micah killed herself last night in a state park. JP called me Saturday night and said that a kayaker found her, and that prior to that, she called the police herself and said that she was going to herself. My first question to her was, did you do church service this morning? Because this was right after right after it would have ended. And she was going around the question. She didn't want to answer me. And then said, yes, we did church service. And I said, and who preached this morning? And she said, JP, which I was just in absolute disbelief that he, the very next morning, could go and talk to anybody, let alone, I mean, obviously now we've all seen the videos of everything he said. So,
Kylie, you'd be cooler with a cooler. Thank you.
So then I asked if, they had any information. Did they know what led her there? What happened exactly? She told me that on Saturday night, she went to his house. So she was there with him Saturday night, the night that Micah passed, which I have submitted to the tip line.
Damn, do you have a backup account you can come talk on?
Yeah.
Like, you got your whole name out there, and I'm real life concerned about you saying all this right now.
I'm not very concerned, to be honest with you. I have tried to get through to her over and over, and I'm not going to say her name here. She is in charge of the church page. She's the one who's been blocking everybody, not him. Everything posted's been by her.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say her name
All
here.
of those passive aggressive Bible verses too?
Yes, all of it.
I mean,
Yeah, I know.
I feel some kind of way right now.
I know.
I've tried very hard to. I mean, this has been. I can get a little background on how I know Micah.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering if you have an anonymous account you can come back on. Or something.
I don't have one. I can try to make one.
I think she's probably where I am. She knows that. I mean,
but what about mother-in-law? That's what I'm really worried about.
Yeah.
She's no longer on any social media. She's no longer on any Facebook. She's deleted all of her accounts other than being behind the church account, which I'm blocked on, so I'm not sure if it's still up.
Right. Okay. I just worry about somebody seeing and say, "Oh, I know. Let's look up Brittany Dollar. Who's her mother-in-law?" That's what she's talking about. If they're in,
she's already gotten a text.
I'm sure. I'm sure she has. A little context on how I know Micah. I have been with my husband since we met whenever we were 14 years old. And at that time, I knew that his mother was going to Solid Rock whenever it was at its previous location, and she has never left. I was working at a restaurant that I worked at, and I saw Micah and JP come in together. And at this time, I was 17 years old. And at that point, I knew that she was married, and I knew that he was married. So I had taken a picture of them, called my mother-in-law, and said, "This seems a little odd that they're here alone. Just wanted to give you that information." She then called him and said, "Do you have something that you need to tell me?" And he said, "I will tell everyone myself." So we knew right there that they were having an affair, which is proven. That's how they got together. Ever since then, it's been a constant argument between me, my husband, and her about how brainwashed she is. It honestly is sad. She believes everything he says. you can't tell her anything and she's not going to listen.
You're talking about your mother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she essentially, and I guess that's what brainwashing is she worships the ground he walks on. More so worships him than I think anything else. We obviously, after this came out, got into a huge argument. She showed up at my house. We had to call the police. It was just an awful situation. She has since blocked me on everything. She was texting me quite a bit, and I didn't respond because every text she sends me is sticking up for him. It's an excuse for him of how he would never do anything like this, or Micah was mentally ill, Micah was sick, and a family member of mine became very close with her within the past month or so of her being alive. And we know that to not be true. She was not sick. She was doing everything that she could to get away and build a better life for herself.
Right.
So I just wanted to make that.
You guys know who this is, right? If you don't know who it is, let me know and we can answer it for you. But it's somebody that we was talking about that said that she quit taking her medicine so that she would pass away because her family disowned her. It's the same person. It's the same person, if y'all don't know. I mean, but I'm pretty sure most of you do. But there might be some people out there that don't. This is why I'm playing this one, because I don't think it had to do with this. I think it was because of getting questioned very heavily.
That clear. The church is not closing. It's still open. I know for a fact that they have no intention on closing unless.
All right. So is he the one that actually opened the church from the very beginning?
I can't answer that for sure. As far as I know, yes, he was in a different location, and then they moved to Market Common, and then actually within the last few months, finalized their contracts on their new property.
Okay.
They were planning on moving locations again.
Yeah, so I want to go, if it's okay, I want to go back to what you said about how your mother-in-law was at his house Saturday night when she passed. I've been seeing things about how JP was apparently in Charleston at a ball game. So are you saying that's not true?
Came out my mother's mouth that she went to his house Saturday night. That he called her, out of her words, she said he was hysterical, and she drove right over. And in my opinion, that was to have an alibi.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't able to find anything confirming that he was in Charleston at a ball game. So I mean, I've been questioning that from the start.
Right.
Guys, I want to say something real quick. We have made it clear to Brittany that we are concerned about this being publicly shared. And Brittany has said, well, I'm not concerned. I'm saying there's nothing more we can do. Brittany, Brittany, are you of sound mind and body and over the age of 21?
I am.
Then there's nothing we can do. I mean, there's just not. Like, if Brittany wants to share this information, she's going to share this information. For everybody in the chat, we can't verify this information. We don't know who Brittany is. Brittany just came up here. She's making claims that only she can verify. And I think that if you had an anonymous account, it's a little bit better. You can change your name and profile picture on your account if you wanted to. But at the end of the day, Brittany is a whole grown-ass person that we can't control. So I want to get that out of the way. And plus, let's stop asking Brittany to name her mother-in-law. We're not going to do that. Okay.
No, I'm not going to say her name. And I appreciate the concern. I really do. But I have been very, very, very vocal on my Facebook account. So I'm not so much worried for myself. I have been worried for her safety this entire time, only because her name is out there. It is. You can go on many posts and she's being talked about. And that's nothing that I can control. I just will not say her name on here.
And don't say it in the comments either. I see.
Please.
No. The people talking about other people doxing. So don't do that.
I have a question also, Brittany. I was informed this afternoon, and I was wondering if maybe you said that you are not aware of the church closing. I was informed that after the services for Micah that the majority of the other ministers had resigned. They all still support him, but I don't know if they're presenting it to the public as they're resigning to potentially move the church elsewhere, but that they're stating that they are closing.
Okay, I have not been informed of that at all. I do know to be a fact that the woman the couple that was in charge of the camp has pulled out. It has also been said that they were not affiliated with the church, but that is not correct. Mm-hmm. I work at a restaurant and I served them a few months ago at their board meeting for Solid Rock. So I know that to be a fact. They were affiliated with the church. I don't know their relationship now with him. I just do know that they did move out of the church and back out.
Yeah, I did. I knew that as well. I can confirm that as well, that they moved their stuff out of that church a couple days ago because there was a U-Haul parked out there. And that woman commented on my post saying that was us. We were moving our stuff out and we don't want anything to do with him anymore. So I can verify that as well.
Wow, just a second. Meg, I'm reading what comments I can read, but there's over 6,000 people in here. So no, I can't read them all.
Brittany, I have a question. Did JP do the funeral service today? Do you know?
I can't answer that for certain.
Okay.
There's a Krista in the comments, and that's who I've been speaking to. And her husband is actually a member of the church.
I love the music in that. No, I don't know how to explain it other than you can't gift a specific person, and I don't know how they can. It's basically you'd have to look up the YouTube how they do it. It's just something that YouTube does. You can gift, you just can't gift a specific person. I think it's so nobody gets singled out. But most of the stuff that we do members live, Glinda, is just exclusively to members for a period of time, and then we do end up sharing most of it after a specific time. So there can be gifting, but it can't be to a specific person. Yeah, it would. If Deb, if you wanted to gift Glinda specifically, that would be something that you would have to do with Glinda, and then she could then purchase that. That's YouTube's guidelines on how the gifting actually works or not. So reach out to YouTube and let them know. I mean, I know that there's some people from time to time that ask that, but no, there is no specific way to do like specific people. If you want to do specific, yeah, that's what it is, Kylie, right? It's a random lottery. So, if you did want to do specific, then you would have to set up something with Glinda, and then you could do it specifically that way. Do me a favor, you guys. Go ahead and sub to. Here's the link to this video. Go show some love on it. Let me see here. Let me hit this real quick. And when it comes to this, you guys, this is what, after discussing all this time, what could it be amongst us protesters? I believe this right here is what they are going to try and do. I'm already reaching out to the other protesters, sending this out here, and I got a couple more I got to send out just so everybody's aware. And then that way we can kind of be prepared before we go prepare other people tomorrow. Thank you so much for reaching out in helping us with this information. Without this information, I think we still might have been in that position where it's like, dang, we just don't know. I think the community cracked the code again. Shout out community. I think the community cracked the code of Solid Rock again. I think this is what they're trying to do. And I want to say thank you all for having our back. I really appreciate you all so much. I'm going to go ahead and end the show. We'll be back tomorrow with a members live. I am not sure. I might do something in the morning. I'm not sure. I still have been trying to get to the post office the last couple days, and it has just been a madhouse trying to catch up on all the meetings and stuff. But as of right now, Saturday is totally open until the members live. So I really need to get that stuff done. And then if I'm done in time, then we might pop on for a little bit. And who knows, I might go for a little drive over around yonder. We might see. But I will definitely be here tomorrow, no matter what. If not, we will see you Sunday for the protest. Come show some support. Give us your prayers. We need them. We need them. You know what they're trying to do. They're trying to stop us from doing what's right. Thank you so much. Typically Unique, number 209. Appreciate you. Thank you all for your likes. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. And hashtag justice for Micah. They're cracking, y'all. Yo. It's that community making tidal waves in that ocean of truth and justice. We're knocking stuff down, y'all. We're breaking through barriers, and we're making that difference. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Peaceful, positive evening. We will see you tomorrow.